scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources that we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Keep it going. Some privilege in the back, blowing. Hold it down for the Bay, reppin' Oakland.
It's all a fugazi.
And you know the difference between me reading your papers now and me reading your papers 10 years ago? Is that now I know when I read it. 10 years ago, I didn't know when I read it.
This is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
Right, all right.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
No, you ain't the champ. Hey, listen, don't make me embarrass you. How you gonna do that? Embarrassing. How you gonna do the champ? You go fight more than 4,000 people live. More people in training.
40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even fucking read.
And Dad tried to teach me of my brothers. Never try to be better than someone else. Always learn from others. And never cease trying to be the best you could be. That's under your control. I coined my own definition of success, which is peace of mind, attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable.
What do you both think about fear?
I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. I'm here to live up to mine.
He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life.
Fear is a teacher.
And I don't skip class.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me?
Hanging around.
Just hanging around.
Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Hey now. Hey now to you. Yeah. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Did I just nail the grail?
You just hit the grail.
Did I just nail the grail? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
This pain in the butt. Frank and Rhonda sent something. We'll definitely be showing, open that tonight. Holy moly. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I have a 3-day weekend coming up. A lot of cards we'll look at tonight. We're going to take a look at this NBA list a little later. Why don't we start from the very top? What do we got? Big Mac, been here. Big Mac, you've been a regular quite a while now. Hobby Champs, been here forever. Vinny Vegas, more new, I feel, or maybe just can't make the Tuesday live, Wednesday live. Zach is a comedian. Hardcore, good call. Hardcore, I thought you had a good call, some good points last night. The last hour was really interesting because, we did the 2 hours. Then all of a sudden, Frank chimes in, hey, there's some beef in the chat. So then out of nowhere, Neo does pop on. And out of nowhere, Charles comes on. And then there was no beef anymore. Once you get them on, it's like, oh, everything's all, It would have made for better content if what they were saying in chat came on that fire onto the screen, but it was still a fun conversation. And then Hardcore chimed in. Blue Red, we all love Blue Red. Big shout out. We hit the like button for Blue Red Master. Travis, Super Bowl. So you've experienced something once and possibly 3 times, depending how long you've been a diehard Seahawks fan. I've never experienced a Super Bowl. I have plenty of Laker championships. They were awesome. I was a pretty heavy Giants fan. A's have never won, but the Giants winning. I grew up a Giants fan. I kind of converted to the A's because I had mentioned this on the live. They had dollar Wednesdays in high school. It was $1 to go to the game. It was $1 a hot dog. We'd get a 2-liter soda at the grocery store right across the way before. We'd park at Bart for free and just walk over. So, for under $10, you're at the game, you're eating 5 hot dogs, you have a 2-liter soda. So I went to a lot of A's games. And at that time, the Giants park was brand new or semi-new, left Candlestick. And so price and Bonds was going on his tear. So prices to get into a Giants game, they were far from cheap. So yeah, I watched a lot of that. Miguel Tejada, Jason Giambi, Terrence Long. I was at game 20. I was You know, and then Moneyball like helped a little piece of my history. I was there in the bleachers. He hit that home run, Scott Hatterberg, 3 or 4, you know, rows in front of me. And I told my friends, because people were cheering, it's a big moment, people were standing up, and I Scott Hatterberg's a bum. And I told my buddy, I'm not gonna stand for this guy unless he does something. And then next thing you know, freaking home run right in front of us. They had a huge lead. Who the hell did they play? I want to say Blue Jays, probably wrong. And they came all the way. They had, it was like 11-4, and they came all the way back. The other team takes the lead, and then you've seen Moneyball. Now I'm curious if it was the Blue Jays. Anyways, we got another X. It seems like Panini is making unlicensed Prism, or is it Prism? I don't know. They're making unlicensed product. It seems like that's the way they're going. Maybe we already knew this. Maybe that news was out there before we made this bingo card at the end of the year. But I feel I saw Ziggy out there. You know, Ziggy, I'm going to say something. I hope that it goes. I hope it's like Ziggy left. He didn't leave. He didn't leave, but he wasn't around. And now the big Mike story. And, you know, this is right up Ziggy's, like Ziggy is infatuated with it. Ziggy, you're going to find out some news tonight when Mike calls in, because Mike's going to call in. It was supposed to be at 5:30, 8:30 your East Coast time. But he said something came up. He said he'll definitely be calling in tonight. So I don't know the exact time, but he has. It would be an understatement. I mean, he has more news. You know, he's going to update us, and he does have more things that I'm excited about. So maybe, you know, it's worth hearing. But I also know Ziggy's excited about it, and all of a sudden Ziggy's back. So, you know, I'm happy to see you, Ziggy, but interesting timing. Let's see. Frank and Rhonda both sent me something. Let's do it early on in the show. I have a feeling, I know this is Rhonda's package right here. And okay, she sent me a card, but she also sent a package, and I'm pretty sure I know what's in the little package. And Rhonda, I don't know if she's here on a Thursday, but Rhonda, thank you for all your help, support, kind words. The chat, I mean, people adore you in chat and love you. And yep, it is exactly what I thought. Rhonda made stickers for us. So in that member bundle and however else I can get these out, but we have Professor Sports Card stickers of the logo. So that's kind of all right. That was Rhonda. Thank you. That was very kind, very nice. And then she also sent me the losing quarterback of the Super Bowl, but I'm sure I have a Drake May rookie. I'm not positive, but she sent me a Drake May rookie. Rhonda, that's very sweet of you. I appreciate it a bunch. And Rhonda's been one of the biggest help, her and Frank. I mean, you know, we'll open Frank's next, but they've just been, and I'll be, you know, I bought you guys a sweater. It hasn't come yet. And I'll send it out to you, but they've more than the stickers and more than the card. And I appreciate it so much, but more so, I just appreciate the support, the being here, and, but you know, just you put in energy on this show too. You put in time and effort, and I know you'd be watching, you say, but still, you guys both, and so, and just kind words. So, anyways, and I know chat loves Rhonda, and Rhonda does a great job. She is the only moderator now. If we keep hitting over 200 plus, and Rhonda said she was good last night, even with some commotion. But I would assume if we grow, we might need a second. But Rhonda's the only moderator. She does a great job, and you know, make sure you send your kudos and love or you know, appreciation to Rhonda as well. Because thank you, Rhonda. Stickers and a Drake May. Frank, let's see what Frank sent me. I think in this package I showed you on recently, and it's a pain to get open. They're always a pain to get open, so I'm not even messing with it. I think it's that Stone Cold Steve Austin rookie autograph with Sting on the mat, and Sting also autographed it, and the pen's really cool. Let's see what Frank, oh my goodness. All right, let's see, Frank. It just stuck in there really. Okay, all right. Not a lot of tape. Thank you, Frank. Can't stand it. Little blue, one blue tape. Oh, more blue tape. More blue tape. It's over taped, Frank. Can't say it. Okay, you know, Frank, I love you, but this is, you know, I can't stand when people. Frank is a homie but too much tape, unnecessary. I can't stand it now.
eBay OG, man, there's no more too much tape. Enough of that.
I'm gonna ruin the card. Oh, I can't.
All right, we'll talk these through. Okay, you're blessed here. You are correct. We're looking at some of the past Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, one of my favorite defensive backs right now. We're opening up.
That's correct. My boy. I about passed out when he had a pick six during the Super Bowl. They can ask my poor family.
Too much tape. Nothing against you. Everyone
outta
does
here.
it. Everyone does it. Way too much tape.
That's it.
There it is.
That's my boy.
And I
Cooper
like the
DeJean.
optic. I like the rated rookie.
Yep. Great image. One of my favorite cards. That's just the base hollow. I'm sorry, man.
I'm
Just,
so bad at no.
nothing
Look at that. Come
nothing
on.
special.
I collect the
Nothing
NFL
special.
rookies. You know that, right?
Those are only rookies. I only sent you rookies. I knew that. But my favorite rookie card is the Panini Instant of the actual pick six. Amazing card.
Dang, you said kind of a good one. Oh, I like that last
yeah,
one. Here's this one.
yeah.
Hold up. I like the last one.
Yeah.
This one's cool because he's a good player.
Okay. Devontae Smith, one of only 3 NFL players that have won the Heisman Trophy, have won a national championship, and have won a Super Bowl. One of my favorite players, 2021. A lot of overproduction there, but he's highly
Do
collected.
you know? I'm gonna be an ass. Do you know who the?
I
now
don't
I'm
like
curious.
his prism image.
Who are the other 2 players?
I don't know. God damn, I knew you were going to ask me that. I don't know.
Now I'm curious. I
don't know.
no, I don't know either.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, the last one is really a cool card. Okay, so I think I have this, but now I have another Mr. Jalen Hurts rookie.
I just like that image. That's nothing special, but I do. Yeah, it's a Jalen Hurts rookie. All right, good. You got
But
your
this
Hurts
last
rookie. And then
one,
this
one is really. I mean, this is a nice card.
the Saquon.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off.
Saquon.
Getting off this damn tape. Rated rookie, not the optic, but the Don Russ, and that is an awesome. That's an awesome card, man.
That 2018 class is now getting. You got Sam Darnold just won the Super Bowl, and then of course you have Allen. You got Lamar Jackson out of that, and Saquon is a big dude out of that. So very special season. If anyone doesn't know, that's how I got into sports cards. It's still less than a year for me, and it was that Super Bowl that
Man,
got
you're
me
a quick
all jazzed
study,
up
Frank.
about
You're a
everything.
quick study.
All jazzed up. Well, yeah, it's always been my thing, but yeah. So enjoy those. Some good rookies, more to come. Suck at you.
Yeah, that was really nice. Frank, Ron. So, I do have an NFL, just like my NBA rookie card collection, which I'm going to share soon on a live. It's a lot of, photos and taking stuff out and da-da-da. But I also have a huge NFL rookie card collection. So these will not go anywhere. They won't be sold. I'm not grading them at these prices, of course. They won't be flipped. They're just going to go in a box with my hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other NFL rookie cards. So if you do want to send something, it's been on the screen. I did buy a box for 6 months. I think it cost me like $150 or something like that. It is a little more, but Greek Oki's gift, now Rhonda, Frank, Buster. It's awesome. Just really fun. Awesome. Adds a little extra to the channel. Good to show. I had something arrive. I guess most of my one of the Obafemis didn't come, and this is just a red one. I mean, these were not expensive. Someone said I should have got them before. I mean, it was like $4 or $5. But it's cool to I'm gonna be stacking some Obafemi rookies, and apparently Charles and Neo agree. So all right, what else?
I was wrong. 5 players: Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, Charles Woodson, Reggie Bush.
Oh, go slower. Tony Dorsett.
Correct.
Charles Woodson. I was gonna guess. I was actually gonna guess Charles Woodson. You named another
Allen.
Who?
That was your boy, Marcus. Doesn't Marcus Allen play for the Raiders?
Yeah, but Charles Woodson was. I mean, I kind of missed Marcus Allen by a little, but Charles Woodson was one of the all-time Raiders for me.
Reggie Bush and Devontae Smith. So 5.
2
My bad.
Raiders. All right. And
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Now, what's his face? Charles Woodson didn't win a Super Bowl with the Raiders, though he won it with the Packers. But my brother's a Packer fan, and I got to meet Charles Woodson at some of those golf tournaments, and Woodson was the only one. Even he was a rookie or a second year, he showed up in a limo. He was all dressed he was Charles Woodson is Charles Woodson. Oh, Frank's not here anymore. All right, I'm opening one. What is this? I don't know. I got one other package here, but this is something I bought. I'm guessing it's an Obafemi. Yes, Obafemi. I don't know. It is a gold prism. At a 99. I don't know if it's gold. It looks gold, but it's at a 99 Obafemi. What I spend $20-$30 Charles Woodson was he's a little, at first he was a little too full of himself, but so is Deion Sanders. But Charles Woodson was a great defensive back. I think he ended up moving to safety at some point with Green Bay. And just the swag, he backed it up. Charles Woodson, my Raiders haven't had many good years, great years. Charles Woodson is on, I would assume he was on that 03 team. He wasn't in Green Bay yet. When we were dominating with Jerry Rice, Tim Brown, Andre Rison on the front with Rich Gannon as quarterback, with Charlie Garner in the backfield with who was the big tight? Was it Tyrone Wheatley at that time? Maybe it was John Ritchie. Oh God, those Raider teams. That was good stuff. Frank, Rhonda, thank you both for sending that in. And something that's interesting. We were this channel kind of got stuck at about 7,800, and then the brainstorming and okay, we're going to start posting these live clips. We'll start clipping the daily, and then of course a big story like the Pac-Man. But all of a sudden, we're almost at 8,300 subscribers. So just in a short month or so, we picked up over 400 subscribers when it kind of was falling stagnant. So it seems like that daily clip of what good content on the live is getting getting out to. The lives don't promote new viewers. They don't promote the channel. They don't promote growth. In my opinion, from how I see it. So this seems to be working. With 8,300 subscribers. Thank you for being a subscriber. The show is better with voicemails. We have one voicemail. He called yesterday. I want to play it. I think there's a little heat to it. But there's the number 702-483-7344. And it's 1 minute. Let's play it now. 1 minute 30. And he's talking about maybe market movers or subscriptions.
Okay, Professor.
Oh, it's Ziggy. And the only issue is, and I can't figure this one out yet. I haven't spent a ton of time on it. The voicemail calls are too low, and I cannot figure for the life of me how to adjust that volume. But the voicemail calls are too low, and that is something I'd like to fix. I can't figure it out. If it's too low, I'm going to move on. But I guess you could raise your volume for a minute.
I'm feeling frisky. Listen to your show. Ziggy here. Riddle me this. Industry versus collector. The biggest fee the hobby has paid since 2020 has been to subscriptions for companies like Market Movers and Card Ladder. And both of those companies have fundamentally funded the biggest fundamental changes that you and most of your audience actually hate. And you're sponsored by them. I just want to call it out. Okay, you're sponsored by them. And again, think about this.
Damn straight.
Software licensing, which I know this business very well. Very, very high margins. You get a subscription. You get a person paying a monthly subscription, a yearly subscription, right? Their usage is not important.
Let's pause real quick. You do realize PSA charges like $150 or $200 for their subscription. So it's not why you're calling out Market Movers and Card Ladder. You do realize there's Discords out there where people just went bankrupt. The guy couldn't afford millions of dollars he made on he charged or made him in this subscription base. So you're right. Subscription is a great business model, but to call out just Market Movers and Card Ladder, maybe I'd be more on your side. But you're like, yes, I have a Card Ladder. What do you call it? They sponsor me, but I also use Card Ladder prior to them, like on the channel often. So why wouldn't they want to sponsor? Of course. And why do I want to use Market Movers on the camera when that's our boy, good old Jeff? But I would also say those are people are, the hobby, the people getting in, they don't know how to read a chart. And maybe if you knew how to read a chart, you'd respect those. Those are important. And let's see what he has to say. And I agree with you. Subscriptions is a great business model. Where I disagree is they are not I think there's a breaker out there. Is it Filthbomb? It might not be. So let's not attach their name. But to enter into their premium breaks, their better breaks, you have to have their Discord subscription. So to say, it's a business model. Many in the hobby use it, not just Market Movers and Card Ladder.
Their customer service level is not important. I just got 1,000 subscribers. You have 1,000 of anything times $10 a month. Well, do the math. It adds it pretty quickly. You have 50,000 subscribers a month. You have 100 subscribers. That is the biggest fee. And last point, all they're doing is taking public sales data, bundling it up with some charts and graphs, and shitting on it and selling it back to you as a consumer.
I mean, before that, you could check eBay comps, and if they're not going to do it, someone else's. There's the Vintage. Why the Vintage Crew has their own set of apps they use. Like a VPK, I'm gonna get it wrong. There's 130 point. There's other comp sites that do the same thing. You know, I'm a nerd for all that kind of stuff. Now, GemRate, I think all their information is not subscription based. And maybe they're going to start. You're not wrong, Ziggy. Subscription is an important. I grew up. I watched Shark Tank, and I haven't watched it in years. 3 or 4 or 5 years. And I also now cannot stand Kevin O'Leary, but Kevin O'Leary was a big one on that subscription. We want a subscription base. We want subscription. Another big one, if you want to go there, that's a business model is getting these youth. You want to get a young demographic to buy in. Gary V back 4 or 5, 6 years ago, nostalgia sells. Nostalgia still now, I'm sure nostalgia. So their whole idea is to get these guys in young, and even if they leave for a while, they'll get back because they're attached to this nostalgia piece. So, there's many bullshit things or business tactics going. And sure, to call it a subscription, I think maybe more your point is you think they're not real numbers. You think they're manipulated. You think they help drive the market. Maybe. Possibly. But if they're not, there is a demand where there is a demand out there for, I don't believe the demand's as big for the Griffey as it looks or some of these cards, but there is a demand for seeing charts and tracking and the visuals of it all. So, I use Card Ladder prior to them sponsoring me for a long, long time because I'm a customer, that's just what it is.
I've never paid. I don't think I bought them to test them, but I've never been a long-time subscriber of any data tool. And I can think of others that are gone. That there were other data tools out there. Card Genie was out there. Card Hedger. Where the hell did that go? And I can tell you a whole story about that too, because a lot of them are just mining data. So subscriptions have been fleecing this hobby. Stop paying for your subscriptions. Use AI to find your comps. Stop using these.
Use AI to find your comps. No, Ziggy. Now he has 3 more seconds, and I'm gonna rip you on that.
Oh my gosh, I could go on and on and on. Cheers.
Do not use AI to find your comps. That's how my brother got in hot water and bought the card he bought, not knowing anything. And I think Ziggy, and I've told him this for years, Ziggy comes at it from his viewpoint and angle. He doesn't realize that the new person has no clue, or someone like Frank who's been in a year. No, Frank, don't ask AI for comps or what to buy because you can do the research. Spend hours researching. I'd rather go on Card Ladder and fine. If you don't like those things, I'd rather go check. And I did this. You go check, and I'm sure some of you have. You go check recent eBay sales and comps. And years ago, before this is how you did it. And so that's how we all had comps. What is the recent eBay sales comp? What is the recent eBay sales comp? If you're going to go buy a card or comp values, don't do it with AI. Do your diligence. Do it yourself. And yes, those sites, they just help you in that research. And if you don't like those sites, sure, go to eBay comps or figure it out how you want to figure it out. But I understand where you're coming from, and I hate. They sponsor me. I hate they're owned by collectors. The issues I have. I come on every show and 30% of the show happens to be PSA, never in a good light because I can't stand their new business model. And some of you might say, all right, them owning a data company like that, that's why they own it, to have all the data. Okay, that's probably true. All right, good call, Ziggy. Good call. To the members, it's $5, and recently Charles donated, I think, 10 memberships. And where is this thing? I worked hard on it. Oh my God, it's not even there. Wait a minute. I worked hard on something and it's not even there. So am I on the wrong slides? Yes, I am. Mike should be calling in. I'm not sure quite when, but he's definitely calling in. He said he was supposed to be at 5:30 in 5 minutes, but he said something came up. So he said he's 100% calling in. I'm checking my phone just now, just to make sure. Yep. So I don't know when, but before the end of the show, he has, and it's big news. I mean, it's new, it's noteworthy news what he's going to share. Hobby Collision is coming up Monday, February 23rd. I kind of wanted to stay on one track first. This is there's over 45 members right now. I think 48. Charles was kind enough to buy 10 memberships the last couple. So, but this is every screen, every picture of all, Frank's the 33. I think Hardcore was gifted one. Fresh Prince, Banute. Hobby Champs is up in the right corner. Rhonda's somewhere. Dan Snyder's the D. Where's Rhonda? Right there. Blue Line Cards. I think one of the first thin Blue Line cards. Maybe the first ever. Run Good Life's up there. Type 2 collectible. Hobby collectibles. I'm going to get it wrong. Anyways, there's Sven somewhere there. So anyways, thank you to all the members. I thought this was a neat little collage of it. And anyways, let's go backwards real quick. Who do we get? Is that Mike? Or Blue? Oh, it is Mike. Holy shit. All right. Well, it came early. Mike is below, so you got a minute or so to text your friend because he has news. I mean, it's the 115 here on a random Thursday show on the smaller show. You're gonna get the news first, and it's worth hearing. It's really, really. He's not messing around. Let's put it that way. All right. I'm going to throw Mike on and, I think he has maybe 15, 20 minutes and we'll see what he's got to say. Mr. Mike, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How is your evening?
My evening's good. You are busy in your own right. And now you're doing all this. You must be very busy the past few days.
Man, you have no idea. Between producing TV shows, looking and evaluating talent, and I'm not talking breaking talent because, well, there isn't actually much talent for that. Anybody can own a pack of cards. Just saying.
Mike, you're coming in and out a little bit.
Just kind of fun.
Mike, on the phone, or on the call, you're coming in just in and out a little bit. It's hard to get every word.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Yes, sir. And again, it is you're when he told me, I'm just wow. So it's interesting news, and I hope Ziggy's here because Ziggy's gonna love hearing this. This is something Ziggy's been asking for years, I feel like. I think Mike's still situating himself. What else we got? Hobby Collision the 23rd. Later on, I want to ask you. I have some segments planned for the Hobby Collision, but I mean, there's the community.
How's now?
Sounds a little better, and just I'll finish this thought. Later we'll go over what is a segment or something you want to see while we have those panelists, those 5 guys and Chris Sewell. So we'll do that later, but let's get back to Mike because Mike has big news. So Mike, I know you've been real busy and you shared some news with us. I'd love to start with one of them, or is there something you want to lead with?
Well, go ahead and throw a hint. And we'll get started.
Well, I thought that it was fascinating that you have all this recording of what's happening on Breaking and where you sent it. And I think that's really, really interesting news.
Yeah. So my team, so just to give people an idea. So let's backtrack just a hair. I did not just start this yesterday or the day before. So my team and I, which consists of an assistant and another paid employee, started recording breakers in 2024 on Whatnot and eBay because we really thought it was gambling. So everything from the dumbass who does the spin wheel on Whatnot to the people that are doing the random breaks, the numbered breaks, the buy one, get one free breaks, the get an extra spin break. So we recorded approximately 47 breakers and approximately between 6 and 8 hours of video footage, condensed those all onto 2 terabyte hard drives each. And today we started turning that over to attorney general offices, district attorney offices, and gambling commissions, if there were any in certain states, to start looking into the criminal side of the illegal gambling that is going on.
Fascinating. I mean, fascinating. And I know I'm going to say, Ziggy, I'm sure some others in the chat are just thrilled to hear that you're taking this initiative and pushing forward with this. And some of those rooms we've been in those rooms on the live. I had never been on Whatnot. One show we went on a live. It's degenerate stuff.
It is. But we also have videos from public Facebook accounts, public Twitter, public TikTok, where you have the purchasing done. Because you know how you can jump into like a breaker and they'll put you on the video up in the corner sometimes, or they'll show you. Well, we got videos of underage kids purchasing into breaks.
Hey, now you're taking the right angle. You're taking the right angle there. So I know you have more news than that. Yeah, it is a great angle. And I thought it was big news that you're reaching out to some of these agencies and they're hearing you. It's not just sitting there from you're saying they're listening, they're hearing.
Well, yeah, because there's major tax implications here for the states and people don't want to hear this. If the states get involved and we put regulations in place, breakers will be forced to pay the equivalent of gambling taxes like a DraftKings and your other, sports betting sites, which means it will put a large chunk of breakers completely out of business. That's many. I'm not looking to ruin people's lives. I'm looking to save lives. Lives of people who gamble, lose everything, and in some cases kill themselves because they lost all their money for their wife and their kids because they were in their 40s and thought they were going to get a Cooper flag. And now they don't have the money for the mortgage. This is real, people. You're just not hearing about it because you don't. The breakers that you watch don't want to talk about this.
No, or none of the industry either, because the hobby does, but the industry, the influencers don't want to really talk about it either. They don't want to shed any negativity on the hobby. So it's great that it's great that I'm so glad. I'm speaking for everyone in the chat. I feel it's just you taking a lead is a great thing. It's really great. So, and I know you have more.
I just saw
I don't know if you want to share more, but
I mean, at the end of the day, these sites like Whatnot, they're trying to isolate themselves. So let me explain the terms and conditions and user agreements when you sign up for Whatnot. They put in there that you cannot sue them or do a class action against them as part of agreeing to use their site. Well, guess what? If you're committing a crime, your user agreement is as good as toilet paper. You can wipe your ass with it. When you're breaking the law, terms and condition pages do not apply. Okay? And I spoke to 3 different class action attorneys today. 3. We are holding meetings next Tuesday with 2 of them to discuss getting law enforcement involved directly through us in a specific state to go after the terms and conditions page based on Whatnot currently breaking state and federal gambling laws and letting minors purchase on their sites.
it's real. That's real. So it went from maybe federal laws to maybe class action.
Yes,
you'll get thousands of signatures, people to sign up.
And once I have the information that I can relay out, I will then give you an email that you can post publicly for people to send their information to be considered for the lawsuit.
And would it be people that have purchased on Whatnot, or how would that work?
Purchased on Whatnot. Purchased on Whatnot and lost substantial amounts of money. You got to be able to show your receipts, people. Okay? We're not talking $10 here.
You mentioned, I don't know if you want, like, this is all rolling as we go, right? This is in the works, it sounds like. It's not something you're talking about doing a year from now. This is something that's in the works.
No, this is going to happen fairly quick. Like tomorrow I got 2 people, their job all day, they're on my payroll. Their job is tomorrow to reach out to gambling commissions, attorney general offices, and district attorney offices to send videos of Whatnot and other breakers who are on Fanatics Live showing what is going on these sites, and also dual videos showing children who are definitely under the age of 18 purchasing into breaks, and full acknowledgement with the breaker talking to the kid, wishing them luck.
I don't doubt that at all. I mean, that's fully believable. A lot of these breakers, I'm not saying the ones that you are saying, but a lot of them on that Whatnot, they're 24-year-old kids themselves. A lot of these people running the break.
Well, I just saw somebody on your message there talk about capital gains. So yes, you're dead on. So yes, my team has already contacted the IRS under whistleblower statutes. Okay, the IRS, we turned this over to the IRS last month. Okay, along with a list of 57 breakers and an additional 20 different bounties and the people that offered the bounties. And we tracked down a grand total of 18 people who we publicly know.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
No, go ahead. That was a mistake. Go ahead.
Okay, so we tracked down a majority. Yes, 57 breakers, and then we tracked down individuals who pulled cards that were eligible for bounties. We backtracked on who paid the bounty, and we've reached out, and now we officially have 7 people who openly admitted that they did not receive a tax form.
And you were talking about big bounties, I believe, not a small bounty.
Yeah. No, we're not. No, this is anything over $25,000. Because here's the thing. When you pull a card, let's just say you pull a Super Refractor. Let's use Cooper Flag. He's the hot guy right now. So you pull a Cooper Flag out of a break, and there's a break bounty. So you get your $10,000 break bounty, or it could be $10,000 cash. If they give you $10,000 cash, I mean, you got to get a tax form. Odds are you're going to be paying between 30 and 42% on that right out of the gate, because that's how it would be taxed, pretty much like gambling. And then on top of it, you get your Cooper Flag card that you bought into the break for, let's just say $3,000. You sold it for $100, and you sold it for $100 under 3 years. Capital gains applies. So now you're at 30% tax on your Cooper Flag. So now you're paying $97,000. Well, not paying 97. You invested, you got it for $100, you invested $3,000. So your taxable amount is $97,000. 30% of that goes to Uncle Sam at minimum, depending on what tax bracket you're in. And I'm not here to give IRS tax filing advice, people. But at the end of the day, just like examples of some of these guys who bought these Steph Curry, I'm not going to say who, somebody bought a Steph Curry Night autograph, I think out of 5 or 10. And they bought it raw, they got it graded. Well, when they sell that card and make an additional $10,000, $20,000, well, capital gains applies. And that is what's going on with the card industry. And this is what we sat down and discussed in person with the IRS office in DC last month.
Whoa, you had not. That is new news to me. That you did not share. That's wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I personally went down with my lawyer to file the whistleblower statute in regards to breakers on Whatnot and Fanatics and the guys and gals offering these bounties, because there are tax implications here. So I will tell you now, I know for a fact that the IRS is looking into at least 12 of them right now. At least 12. So, hey guys, if you get a knock on your door, probably came from me. What's up? But
Frank,
this is real.
Very real. Frank, why did you hop on? What's up?
So I'm coming from the comments section of the video, the rebroadcast of Mike from the first time, and a lot of the commenters were just talking about the out and out fraud of the breakers, like even beyond this gambling aspect. These instances in which they have the outcome already predetermined by either CT scanning the boxes or just all the nefarious things that they do. And that was a very, very common sentiment, and just more compelling to everything that you're talking about here. So just for
Frank,
the record
before he go, when I talk to Mike,
we had the slides too, Prof. Of the comments from that video.
It's funny because I have the same thing chat does. I want to talk to my biggest beef is the dirty marketing and manipulation in marketing.
Yeah.
But it's like what the angle he is taking, he's doing the right thing because there's legality to it. It's really hard to disprove here, where everything else it's hard to what is he gonna do? Go see the CT scan? It just I feel like the way we're looking here is a streamline versus all these other things that's a little bit harder to really nail down. So that's been my experience talking to him.
So let me pull back the curtain on something that I have not spoken to you about at all, Professor. So I know for a fact. So Upper Deck can scan their boxes and they immediately know what the contents are. Did you know this?
Do they say that? They like publicly admit that?
I literally know this for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
It is fact. They know the contents of the box. So, and this goes back all the way back. I mean, ever since the UPC code is on the side, they know what's in each box that goes out the door. That's Upper Deck. That's how good their quality control is. Upper Deck's not involved in this. Okay? But I'm telling you, that technology has been around since the late 90s. Okay? And if Upper Deck has it, then you know full well Fanatics knows exactly what in their boxes, along with Panini. And all you got to do is pass along somebody to have access to your database, and they got a scanner. They'll know exactly what case to open, and then the boxes inside the case, they will know the contents. Anybody that tells you otherwise is full of you know what. This is real. You can scan a box and know what's in it if you're part of the company, because they got to track to make sure shit's going in the boxes.
Tracks with us. We've thought it for a long time. Now, Mike, I have a question. Ziggy would love to talk to you. I'd like to get I hope, Ziggy, you could just ask questions. I think you said you have a lot of questions.
I got about 6 minutes, guys, and then I got to roll.
Ziggy will be a good person to ask quick questions. Ziggy, try not to project or your thoughts, because we want Mike. So I hope that you take this time that we're giving with Mike to ask questions. So let's throw Ziggy on, and Mike, thank you for doing that. Ziggy, how we doing?
Thank you, guys. I'm also a fellow Mike, by the way, Mike. And yeah, I have a few questions. And I also, just quickly, Mike, I'd love to connect with you later on and help you with what you're doing. I've been involved with breaks for years, a decade. I recently helped start Queens of Cards. I'm no longer actively involved in Queens of Cards, but I can talk to you all about breaking. I have a lot I could love to share. I know a lot. Anyway, my questions for you, what you're talking about, what should we really expect? And I'll give you some examples. I've been told the best case is you're going to get 1 or 2 states. It will happen at a state level. Will come in and look at it as gambling and put a tax on it. Very much like I think you'll see that in those poly market games, right? But do we think this will ever be something that will really impact the entire hobby? I just see state hopping going on. Everybody will move to Florida. Like, where do you think this goes? And what can we, if we're really concerned, do we write to our local congressman, our senator, our state and local government? Do we tell them to look at what's going on? Hey, there's a documentary coming out. What can we do to get behind this? I will let you know. I looked at this in the state of Virginia years ago, was working with this at the state level for children. And the answer I got was it's so complicated to explain this. And when you're looking at something like Pokemon and sports cards, I was told, again, their priorities are.
Ziggy's got 6 minutes. Come on.
Those are my questions. What can we expect?
Okay, Ziggy. So to answer the one question, what you can expect over probably the course of the next year for the IRS to start its internal investigation like they already are into audits. The audits will then turn into something bigger because now the IRS will then bring in other multiple letter organizations to investigate the gambling side. The tax implications are going to crush some of these guys. They're going to get caught for tax evasion. Okay, because some of these breakers pull these big cards, they have a bounty, then they sell them and they don't report them on their taxes. Okay, and then you have a breaker driving around in a brand new Porsche Lamborghini. That's number one. Number two, call your local attorney general for your state. Well, your attorney general's office. Tell them you want to file a complaint for an illegal gambling site. And then go online and fill out the form. We had over a year of getting videos. So we got spin wheels, I mean, that's 100% gambling. We got breakers talking about, come on, take your shot. That's gambling. You are encouraging it. Not you, but people are encouraging this. And I advise breakers who are just getting started right now, stop. Stop right now. Make tonight your last night of breaks. Because when this goes forward and we tear down the terms and conditions of Whatnot and Fanatics, terms and conditions don't apply when you're breaking the law. Period. And you're complicit. And Fanatics and Whatnot are complicit on both sides of this, guys. Fanatics owns card manufacturing. They can manipulate pricing. I mean, look at some of these Dutch auctions, for crying out loud.
Mike knows what he's talking about. Ziggy, are you satisfied with that answer? That was a good answer.
I have a rebuttal. I don't want to overwhelm you, Mike. I mean, again, on the tax side, I'll tell you, most breakers are very, very aware of the tax implications, and they're doing everything they can to make sure they're tracking taxes. Also, the transfer you're talking about, a card of value, this is very similar to the art community, right? I'm just saying that I've talked to professionals about this. I hope you're right. What you're doing. I'm just saying that they are educated. You're right. They understand what they're doing. They understand it's a form of gambling. They understand the repercussions. We also, I think everybody expects it's going to come. I'll also tell you this too, man. It's such an easy place to make money. Like you say, if you're getting in a break and get out, it's hard to tell to people, man. It's the easiest job to make money in. So that's why there's so many people in it. I'll also say there's a black market. So even if you shut down Whatnot and Fanatics Live tomorrow, it's going to happen on IG.
Well, yeah, I don't think his goal is to shut down anything. I think his goal is to get it looked at as gambling,
regulated.
Yeah.
But again, if you do that, my point, Mike, is the core of this is not the distribution, which is what breaking is. It's the product itself. And you have a product that is a chase and has odds on it, and everybody knows that. Here's a good example. Someone mentioned me. How many products come out where their aftermarket value spikes as high as sports cards do? You'll have FOMO markets where items will spike up, like those Labubus go up, but then 6 months later they come down. Sports cards actually retain.
Why do you think odds have been removed off a lot of products?
Because they can, but in some states, some places they can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's too much money. You have to go over to the product. You have to make in my opinion, the product should be 18 or older to purchase. I don't think.
Ziggy, what about Orlando saying it brings discovery? Because that's something we've also talked about with me and Mike. Is it makes things more open and they have to show things, which is already a win.
I also want to point out the whole gaming community is moving towards these blind box gifts too for the kids. So you're fighting a market. Like, you're able to go into consumers and say, hey, this is gambling. And if I'm defending this, I'm saying, yeah, but so is the little boo-boo box, guys. So is the Pokemon chase. You're chasing Charizard. Like, it's very hard to legislate.
Neither of those have real breakers.
Will. Conservative states will. Utah, possibly.
Yeah,
You could get
neither of those have breakers. Breakers don't exist in those communities, really.
You can block their buyers, the buyers in those states, just like gambling. That's what you expect. Like, I think Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Well, Mike says yes, they do. Okay, Mike Ham. Go ahead, Mike. Up. Did we lose him? Is 6 minutes? Where'd he go? Well, Dan the card man showed up. Dan, how you doing?
How's it going? Why is he only got 6 minutes? Is he calling from a payphone?
No, the guy, he's really, he's a TV producer. I mean, he's a busy dude. So and he's the right guy to be doing this. That's the one from the conversations I had. He is the right guy to be doing this.
I was only joking about the 6 minutes because like the payphone machine money must have run out.
Yeah.
Am I on the screen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ziggy, we hear you, but Mike just called back. Mike, what's up?
Cool.
So here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, guys, we're going after this, which is the easier ways. We're attacking terms and conditions, pages through the legal way. We're going through the tax implications, and we're going through the attorney general offices, the district attorney's offices, and the gaming commissions. Because here, at the end of the day, government always wants their cut. So that is what should scare the crap out of the breakers, because their margins, according to Steve at Filthbomb, are single digits. Now, I don't know how true that is. I have not seen his books. But at the end of the day, we're going about this what I think is the most strategic way to go after it. And at the end of the day, I'm proud of the work that we put in so far.
Well, I'm proud of you too. I'm excited. Again, Mike, if we can help in any way, let us know. Please, keep us up to date. If I can help in any way at my state level, I'm outside DC too. So if I can help you in DC, let me know.
This has been something Ziggy's been wanting for a long time, and so he's even looked into it himself. So Mike, we just appreciate you a bunch.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
I'll finish that thought. He ran out of time. I think he was going to say, Dan, how you doing, Dan?
Good. It's actually a really good conversation. This is, something I've been pretty passionate about for a long time as well. So it's good to sort of see we're actually getting some traction. Like the stuff he's saying about, breakers need to sort their shit out because things can change overnight. Like that's again, something I've been talking about for a long time. Like they don't understand how good they have it right now. And it's, not going to take much to get somebody's attention to want to get that tax revenue, to want to get their share of the pie. And overnight, that industry could be destroyed. Like just as easy it is for a breaker to enter the industry and start making money is going to be just as quick for them to be replaced. And I don't think enough of them understand that, and they don't appreciate the position they're in, right? Like things can disappear overnight. And, just because a Whatnot and a Fanatics Live sort of allows this kind of shady shit to happen doesn't mean you have to be a breaker and pertain in that, right? Or whatever the word is. Like you can still be a decent breaker and not be a scumbag to your sellers or to your buyers. Sorry. So it's crazy to me how there's so many breakers out there that feel like they need to do that. Like they don't understand how privileged they are. The things can disappear, can be pulled out from under them overnight, and they're back to being nobodies.
Dan, I want to just comment. I think too many people look at Whatnot and Fanatics live selling and the wheel and think that's breaking. That's not breaking. And if those systems, if he goes after the terms of services and those shut down, that's great. You can shut down all those live services. Breaking will still occur because when it was at its
I don't think his goal is to end breaking. I think he just wants it to be looked at as gambling and regular. Yeah. He's not ending breaking, Ziggy.
I'm not saying that. My point, though, is that even to that level, you're not going to change it that much by going after those. Like, I want there to be change, and I think it has to be looking at a different way of regulating. I hope what he does is successful.
Nothing is happy for it. Nothing is good enough for it. This is great news. I don't understand.
I'm just thinking of some of the challenges ahead. Please let Dave join. I'll be quiet.
Dave and Michael Ham. I don't think Ham's called in much, so it's cool to see Ham. Dave, how we doing from the bunker?
I'm doing fine. I just have I want to understand is the goal totally to get them on record to say that breaking is considered gambling.
The goal is to change the law and get it regulated. From
Well,
what that's how I understand from talking to him here and off air.
Right. And I understood that as the case, but I think the first step in this, and I would love to ask Mike this question is that
and I'll write it down so I could ask him. Go ahead.
Yeah, is the goal to get them on record under deposition to say that it's gambling?
I think he thinks it's going to be very hard for them to defend that it's not.
Right,
That's
but
his
I think the goal, what I'm saying, Jason, is I think they're trying.
Sure, of course, that's the goal. I mean, that would be great.
Right.
Is that gonna? The other one
Right.
is what I heard today before, when he told me or yesterday, last night after the show, was that the other things that he just has some right connections, and the other thing is he has people where he can go hire them, where me and Ziggy are not going to go watch all those whatnot streams and record them live. I don't have time to do that. So he's actually taking the initiative. Those videos speak volumes. If the right people watch some of those videos, the videos speak for themselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
so but I do think of course his goal would be to get these guys to admit it's gambling. That'd be yes.
You can go on
Well,
Whatnot
you
for
don't need to
30
get-
minutes and see that. Like
Exactly.
that's not hard to do. I mean,
That's
I
right.
watched
That's right.
from this past
They-
weekend.
they-
I watched and I saw it, and I get what people like and don't like about it. But what Ziggy's even worried about is, at what point are you going to complain about the breaking and then not realize the product that you're selling is gambling itself? And then that reverts back all the
But
way
he-
to
okay,
Fanatics.
so Ham, you
That's
can't-
bigger
It's the
money,
other side.
bigger
But
money,
you
bigger
can't-
lawyers, bigger time, bigger commitment.
You can very easily attack illegal gambling on the youth. Like that's an easy one to go to court with and go with it. All
So
these other
Target
I brought up
stopped selling
700
boxes.
What's
They sell it
that?
with the cigarette? So they're going to sell boxes with
Well,
the cigarette?
okay, so I asked him that off air, because I knew that would be pushback. And some people are saying you could just buy a hobby box, but his argument was when you go into a hobby shop and buy a box, you're buying the product. You're not buying a $3,000 spot in a Cooper Flag.
No,
you're buying a $300
Nobody
box.
and buys
where
a
you're-
$1,000 box because I want to rip some cards. It's because you're chasing something. Because
Yeah, but not every box at the card shop. The $1,000 box in
have to
a
agree with you.
break is
So
going to
what-
sell for $10,000. It's
Okay,
not
wait,
gonna
no,
sell
but
for
there's
$1,000.
$10,000 boxes. Like it's all part of the
But that
same
$10,000
ecosystem.
box will sell for it's
part of the
it's
ecosystem. And if you go
unbelievably
after
more in
part
a
of it, you
break.
go after all of it. You
Professor,
can't.
though,
I think it comes back to the art of the sale. To be honest, it's the way.
Well,
the
he
product is
he
being
mentioned
sold.
that. He said if they had a sign, chance to hit a Cooper Flag 101, then he said, okay, it looks more like gambling, but that's what these breakers are doing. That was his, because I knew that was also a point of contention was, yes, buying a box, speculating on a rookie. This is all gambling too, but I just
that's
think
why you
legally
probably
it's
take
such a good lane to attack illegal gambling on people under. That's the method. He's gotten kids, like he said on video, buying into breaks. That is completely his angle with this, is to show the kids buying breaks.
Well, I blame that on the parents as well. They shouldn't be letting them to go in here and do that.
I think parents are
There's part of that as
uninformed
well.
a little. Ziggy's blocking his. Oh, Ziggy wants to talk. Go ahead, Ziggy.
Yeah, I was just saying, so guys, I'll also say you have to realize
Ham, thanks for joining, bro. Sorry, Ziggy.
we're in an industry right now that's booming, and what I'm talking about that is gambling. Okay, you watch the
No
Super
doubt,
Bowl,
100%.
it's everywhere, and let's just say, okay, tomorrow Fanatics comes out, we recognize this is gambling. Sports card breaking is gambling as well. Do we have to be 18 years old to use Fanatics Live? You think anything's going to change?
Ziggy, I don't understand. Even if it's not going to change, it's still a good thing to shed light on.
I'm not against
Problem
it.
is, there's
Saying-
parents that allow their kids to do it.
But
knowing
he's the
what
one
it is.
spending his money on to do the lawsuit. You're not spending your money for the
And I'm
lawsuit. He
for it.
is.
I'm playing the devil's advocate.
No,
here.
I got you.
How do you think? What's the argument? Again, I go back to you have to look at the product. Okay, it's not just the way it's distributed. Like you talk about, if I buy $1,000 box, of
I
Logan
agree
Sports,
with you. It's just hard to
and I
send that.
take
It's
that
harder
box-
to
I
prove
take
that.
box home and I go on Facebook and I sell it in a break. How can you stop me from selling that break? Right? I just supported a local card store, bought it for $1,000. I made $200. I got my team too. I bought my own team because I bought my own break, which is a shady thing you can do. But my point is, this is just a hobby, man. Like,
All right, what's it? Dave had something to say.
Look. By the way, I just want to say hello to the man down under, Dan. It's a
Hey
pleasure
now.
meeting you finally. you're in God's country below the equator, and it's a beautiful place. Anyway, what my first rant, Jason, my very first rant back in the day when, back those days, was we were losing this hobby to a casino mentality. We started losing it back then, and now we've come full circle, and we are lost in this. I mentioned this before because where did we lose the idea of opening our own cards? Why is it that we can't open our own packs anymore? What is
Fanatics makes a lot more money with the break.
Yeah, but where did we lose that?
This goes all the way back to Blowout when they used to do the forums there.
Yeah, but why did we lose that?
Because of the cost. I can get into a break and chase a team or a player based on prospecting.
No, I disagree. I think it's how it's been pushed on
because
society.
I used to go on Blowout and getting a 5 case break for Bowman and cost me $250. That's going to cost me like $5,000 now for a nobody team or player.
But breaks have been pushed. The guys like Backyard Breaks
you
and
asked where it
Bled,
started.
they're on. That's fair. That's fair. But how long ago was that?
Oh, this is going back
10
to
years
the,
like 16
or
17?
more than that. I mean, this is going back to 2010.
That still wasn't okay. You did it, but I would say the average hobby. Not everyone was doing that. A lot of people were still just.
But you asked where it started.
Stuff.
It just snowballed into this because everything became a gambling access.
I think social media
social
media didn't. They took advantage of social media. What
did Ruben want to do? He wanted to get the gambling aspect for an actual gambling site. He went to a place that was unregulated that already had odds to get things. Brought people in to pump them more than what they are. They took the whole boom of COVID, and he came in and he saw an opportunity, he took it, and he's ran with it. And
yes, he has. Yes, he has.
That's what's happened.
Can I ask a question to Dan?
Yeah, shoot.
Dan, is this a phenomenon that carries over into your country as well? Or is this something that's just typical to us?
No, the breaking's probably been more of an issue here in Australia because it's been hard for us to get product for a long time. But Australia, is we're degenerates when it comes to gambling. Like, we have the most poker machines in the world in Sydney alone. I think it's like the stat. There's more poker machines in Sydney than there are in the rest of the world. So it's sort of like ingrained in our culture. But breaking has always been really big because it's been so hard for us to get product here. So it's been part and parcel of being a hobbyist down under for a long time. So I just think the issue has been just where they've shifted that narrative, right? Like, it's become the mainstream now. So. Like, I know earlier we were talking about Fanatics having to Whatnot having to prove that's gambling in a deposition or something. Like, I don't even think it has to go that far. I think it's going to get put in front of someone, and then Fanatics and Whatnot have to say, "Hey, why is this not gambling?" They have to argue against it, right? Because it's painfully obvious that it is, and you need to have more control and regulation within those apps to stop this kind of crap from happening. Like, one thing that Mike needs to look into that I don't think he's aware of is Topps hold rip nights at hobby shops, and in those gift cards or gift packs that they give to kids, there's $10 credit in there to go ahead and use Fanatics Live. Like, that kind of shit is unacceptable. Like, that should not happen, and that's where this regulation should be looking to fix
Here's
things.
a free pack of cigarettes with a coupon.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
And here's a lighter.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's the stuff that needs to stop, right? When you talk, breaking will never go anywhere, right? Because it's mainstream now. The industry relies on that kind of revenue to come in. I think where the correction needs to happen is on the vetting of people being onboarded into the platform. It's the vetting of holding breakers accountable for when stuff happens. It's making sure that they're following guidelines and not doing anything shady. They're not trying to say things are risk-free or guaranteed to make you money. Like, that's the element that needs to be controlled, and that's where the regulation will fix things, in my opinion.
Right.
So I have you four on, and I'm going to talk. I'm going to, of course, talk to Mike more. So, a few questions. You mentioned bring up Rip Night at Topps.
Yes.
And then Dave, you had a question earlier you wanted me to relay, or you would ask him. What was that again? Do you remember?
It was which one? The one I DM'd you, or the one?
Right on live. You mentioned something you'd ask Mike.
Is the goal first to get them on a deposition stating that breaking is gambling?
Okay.
That's the first question. Now, my second question, Jason, is this.
I need to run. Sorry, I need to go help with the kids.
Hey, Dan, thanks for showing up, man. Have a great night.
Yeah. Peace. Jason, the next question I would ask would be, if he gets to a position where they try to settle out for a bag of money, is he just going to walk away? Or is he going to take this full circle all the way?
Yep.
'cause it would be a
I
big
don't have
bag
the
of
answers
money.
to those, but yeah. I don't, but I know it wasn't supposed to be class action, and then he talked to class action. His lawyer thought it would be good to talk to class action lawyers, and I think that's the route he's going to go with Whatnot. He still says, I think, shit, I don't want to say anything I shouldn't that he doesn't want, but I think it's fine. At first, it's Whatnot, and then after that, he plans on going to Fanatics, not class action, but he does plan on going and suing both. So that's just what I know. Ham, any question you would ask him, or Ziggy? I know Ziggy's got questions. Ham, anything you would?
I don't know. It's really questions. I mean, at the end goal, are you trying to affect one part of the hobby or all of it? And I just don't think you can affect one part without affecting all of it. But it's going to involve the big boys.
Other people have mentioned that to me as well in DMs, that this affects multiple. It doesn't just target one. You're targeting everything at that point.
I think what's key is a documentary that explains breaking, because I think the hardest thing to do is to explain it to the legislators, the parents, the people. Because like you said, most people don't.
You know, that's what he wants to do as well.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's going forward with this motion. I think it's interesting. And my comment is there again. These are going to government employees. They're going to get a bunch of your videos and some comments, but this is gambling going on. They're great. Now, if you bring to them some pedophilia, they're all over that. They've got money for that. And that's what I was told years ago. Child money for child crimes is in child trafficking. It's in child production. It's not in your selling.
Well, Ziggy, we'll see. I mean, we shall see. Because he's had conversations with pretty high, he's had conversations with he has a background in politics at some point in his life. I'm not going to get into his background. So he does have, it just feels like he is the right. I asked him, like, you're sending him all this. Why are they going to look at it? Are people really looking at it? And 1,000,000%. He didn't just send it to random. He sent it to people he knew. So, I mean, that's something that, to me, he has a plan. There is a strategy. It's not out of nowhere.
Ask him at what point will he share his name and what more about him. Like, he's definitely kept his face and he's gave us his mic. I understand that, but he could also pull in our leg. So at what point will he give?
Well, according to him, he's a pretty big TV producer. So he doesn't necessarily, you'll see his name on a law.
If he does a lawsuit, it's coming out.
Next week, there's something I'm not going to say that he doesn't want me to say it, that maybe something's coming out, and we should be able to see his full name next week in this. So, Dave dropped out. Okay.
News broke here first then, man. I do have a topic to change if you wanted to change it to.
Yeah, let's. Yes.
So,
and we almost hit 200 again on a random Thursday. That's so awesome.
And this, I think, is a really good controversial topic. Have you seen the Boston Card Hunter versus Sports Card Radio content? And it's not just Boston Card Hunter. Right, you saw, and you probably didn't see this, Professor, but in Sports Card Radio's 3-hour rant a week ago, which I did not watch the whole thing, but I did see and hear him make a comment, a racist remark about Asians, and some other people made some comments, and I did say right there, I called it out. I forget what I said. I said there's no reason for this.
Well, Dan made a video on it, who was just here.
More videos came out after that,
but they've been racist prior to that, and people just let it go because they think it's cute.
Well, Ham, that's the exact. Here's the whole shit of it is that their next live is going to do huge views because even the people like, and they shouldn't have said what they said. They said it with the vulgar tone and fine. I mean, they should move away from saying things like that. But that people are going to tune in just to see them. What are they going to say about Dan? What are they going to say about this? What are they going to say about that? So it's unfortunate, but it's almost like the controversy and the garbage what they said is going to create a bigger storm for them.
So just some mixed news. Apparently somebody reported to their country club, and I heard to their school. So it's getting ugly. Just, I'm telling you. And I've seen other stuff that I will not talk about now publicly, but because there's just a lot more coming out. So I'm going to tell you, keep your eye on what's going on.
On this particular
Card Radio versus Boston Card Hunter / whoever else is helping him. I mean, I saw Army ATC. It's bigger, and it's interesting because you're right. It's a racist comment. I've seen people talk about it. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal, whatever. But this is going to, I think, be bigger news in the next week or so. You'll see a blow up on this.
I think I already know what you're talking about.
And I'll talk to you later.
I already know. I think I already know. We will talk, but I think I know exactly what you are talking about.
Because you're right, going after Sports Card Radio, you're asking for it, right? You expect them to come after them, but the waves coming out are really interesting. So just keep on your radar. I personally, find it interesting.
And they haven't taken that video down yet, right?
No.
I actually have some added information on that as well, Professor. So have you checked their Instagram story lately?
Someone told no in the very beginning of the comments before the show, first comment, they put fortune cookies up and some that's I don't remember.
And basically kung fu gear that they're going to wear on their live. So they're doubling down on the races.
Of course.
Yeah, 100%. Why wouldn't
Of
they?
course.
Did they post it live?
They just
When is
said
the live
something
stream?
derogatory. You're just not supposed to say it on live.
And now it has
feeds
all
in
this
front of
steam. They're
people.
humongously
I mean,
relevant again all of
it
a
was
sudden.
stupid.
So the thing is, and I watched Dan the Cardman's video on it. So he's apparently pretty loyal to them because he, Sports Car Radio propped him up a lot. So he was
I thought his
really-
video was fair. I thought
it was fair. I didn't say it wasn't fair, but he was sort of like not wanting to go all in because he didn't want to he wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
What would
also,
you- what would you have considered all in?
Yeah.
Fuck you
At
guys.
that point,
You
no,
need to
no.
be
See,
canceled.
then
Go to
you're
hell.
stooping
That's
to
what I
another
think.
level to get yourself called out. There's a soft spot you want to land in. You
Yeah.
don't want to
Right.
overdo it and then put yourself into the same situation where you're going to start creating negative and positive pulses from both sides that don't know what
Right.
the hell's going on anymore. That's
Right.
too much. I understand what you want. We all want that. And then there's a group of people that are like, that's too much because people get out of hand. What they did was too much. They could have gone about it a completely different way. And he just probably thought it was cute and said something that was a little too much and very derogatory and pointed at one person. That's what really did it. If he would have done a group, okay, you probably would have just walked away and kept moving. But because it's already a soft subject, and then they picked on it and they went it pretty much about as hard as they can go without being too vulgar, that's a big deal. So they push the button that.
And
shouldn't
I
have been pushed.
I got DMs from men, Asian and not Asian that many that were annoyed or wanted to said something. I know Dan got a ton and maybe some of you guys, but so I know some of the community was,
who's happy?
It hurt some of them.
You know who's happy
People are
about
still
that?
going to tune in.
Ziggy's happy?
No. You know who was though? Pac-Man was like, thank God you're not talking about my break.
Yeah, I know. He's getting right now. The winner is Pac-Man.
Yeah,
I
Pac-Man
hope y'all know
completely got
that.
held out of this shit.
Hobby
Yeah.
heel to,
There's one winner.
Yes.
He's like, my shit don't look so bad now. Look what he
Or
called
that, or
me.
like all these people keep coming to my live streams, like waiting for me to say
Hey, let
something.
me just quickly, I want to make a quick comment, and I don't take this the wrong way, Charles. Be mindful of like women in the hobby as well. Take certain things certain ways. I know you joke about the gobble thing. I worked with women breakers, and they were under constant attack by men, sexualizing them. So just think about that. If you want
Wait, what's the context to this? What is that? I don't even know that. What are you
I
talking
know
about?
you're rolling your eyes, but just
What
think
is
about-
this gobble gobble? I don't even know what you're talking about.
These comments about he calls Mary gobble gobble instead of Mary gamble gamble, and I just giving you some context.
Ziggy, you hated when you got painted in that corner, so it's interesting you're trying to paint someone else.
I'm not painting in a corner. I'm just saying if we're going to sit here and say it's wrong to make comments about Pac-Man, right? Then
Make comments. Just don't go too far with the comments.
Yeah.
We're fine with that. We've Ziggy, how many comments have you made about other people in this hobby since
I
you've been
don't.
on?
I don't think I've been racist or sexist about stuff. I call
Other
Again,
people
I said
said
not
you
too
were. I'm not
far.
saying you were. Other people did put you in
Anytime
that
somebody
light.
uses drops an F-bomb towards somebody else, I think that's too much.
I will see somebody in the chat all the time come and claim that I apparently
damn, I'm
text
too
a woman. I'm like, well, please show the video. Like, if you have any video or any Instagram or any text message or anything of me attacking women, please show it. Because again, I've worked with women most of my career, so I'm fine with that one.
I think he's trying to be silly saying it. I don't know. Charles, you want to defend yourself at all?
Why do I have to defend myself to Ziggy, first of all?
You don't. I'm just giving you context. I mean, think about it, right? So you apparently
look, okay. Let's get this something straight. Okay,
All right,
it was a joke. She opens herself up to ridicule by doing her content, by playing the ditzy. Oh my God, look at my fucking car. Okay, that's what she's doing. She's appealing to that base. Okay, I'm not sexist. I don't have a sexist bone in my body. But at the same time, she opens herself up to ridicule.
Right. So I just find it interesting. Ziggy wants to do. He's trying. Now maybe Ziggy's just trying to be nice and give you a tip. I guess maybe Ziggy's.
I was, and again, I started by saying, don't take this the wrong way. I'm just giving some feedback while we're talking about this. Some people, like I know women, trust me, who would look at
women. Oh wow,
and now
that's all I'm saying. And maybe there's not women in this listen to you, and I'll make the comment. That's fine. I'm cool with this. We can move on. I've made my ground, and I know where I stand. I know where Charles stands. I love listening to people talk. They show you who they are. Okay.
Well, who am I, Ziggy?
You're
Riddle me
Charles,
that.
you're a collector to the hobby, man. I hope you learn a lot. If you need anything, let me know. Be happy to help you out.
I'll do that. I will do that. Anyway,
Oh, I'm trying so hard not to laugh. This is so awkward. And
the point in all of this is, Ziggy, what the fuck? Why are we talking about me talking about Mary Gobble Gobble when you have the sports car radio guys being blatantly fucking racist? They're
Ziggy brought
racist.
it up. Ziggy brought it up, man.
Well,
They have so much. They're going to go off on so many people when they go live. It's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, it's going to just be a
Oh,
it's
yeah,
going to be a
that's what they
parade.
want. They live for this shit. They live for that kind of smoke. That's how they've made their content all these years. They like the controversy and to get things talking.
And
but
they're
you don't
good
have
at
to-
it.
They're really good at it, but you don't have to go that far.
No,
And just-
they made a mistake. They're not going to
No,
own
no,
that.
I don't think they made a mistake. I think they do that deliberately. I think that's
Fair,
on purpose.
fair.
That's intentional.
Because they get away with anything they want, and they don't, and they know that people calling them out means more people watching, more people showing
That's right.
up, more people.
Hey,
commenting.
Greek Okie. Thank you, sir.
And unless something kicks them off or tells them no, they're running the train. They're going to keep putting more coal in that fire, and they're going to get to go as
Yeah,
fast as
you're
they can.
100% right. Good for
YouTube's
business
not gonna
right now,
kick 'em out.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
they don't care about the negativity. They know that it sells, so they don't care. Like, they might say something more derogatory next stream. I mean, look
Yes,
how derogatory they've
yes.
been towards Jeff. So
I
mean,
promise you, they're going to
come
wear
on
that.
now.
They're going to wear that outfit. They're going to wear that damn.
Of course they
coat.
will.
And they're going to.
I
have
might
the
wear
corporate
one. I
people.
might wear one too, just sit in my room. Like I'm with them. Yeah. I don't gotta take the shit.
But John, my Cam, you have the John. What the fuck? You have the 100% right angle and take. It's like all the creators. Yes, man, they know. Even when they brought up on my show last week, I'm like, clip it now. Dan in his video, I know there's going to be pushback. Everybody knows, and I think it's interesting. Boston Card Hunter, Ziggy, you're right, because I know what you know. I think, and that is going to be interesting when that comes out.
What, the
Maybe-
Boston Card Hunter works for Fanatics?
No, he's got
What do y'all got? Y'all got like Epstein files that you're holding back. See,
It's
this
just
is the
gonna,
problem
to
with
be
everybody.
honest, it's just gonna give them more views. Let's be fair. If he
That's all it's
does
gonna
really,
do.
it's
Correct.
just gonna give them more. Yeah, and they're good
That's all it's
at. They're better at what they do than anyone else. You know, they're better at that
I
angle
just thought
than anyone.
Really, it's going to be really entertaining content because I will also say this too. For them to call out sports car radio, they knew what they were doing. Like you're going to get attention as well, right? The people doing it, Army
True.
ATC, he's going to get more followers. Father and Son Breaker is going to get more followers. Boston Card Hunter, he thrives on this stuff. And you are right on a separate topic. If you talk to him, dude, he's railing on PSA all the time. He's a consultant for Fanatics. It's just too funny.
What's this one guy's name? Stock and Trade, is that his name? The
I
guy,
don't
the Yahoo that went.
Oh,
after
I
him
did
too?
see something.
Oh yeah, he wears an Arena
Club.
Club shirt. He has no credibility with
Oh,
me.
great.
He can kiss my ass too.
Why'd you bring him up? What's the
Because he
relation?
called out Sports Car Radio too and said this and that and the other. And he's wearing a damn Arena Club shirt.
Okay, okay.
Like, okay, really?
We got Ham on Alive. You know it's a good show. We got Ham on Alive.
Quick, Professor, could you ask Mike about Arena Club and about their algorithm? Because again, there's been comments that they're going to get sued for their algorithm and the manipulation they use. I think that'd be a great one, and it's something a lawyer could look at pretty easily.
Yeah, that's manipulated
let's
gambling.
just,
That's on purpose.
Their name will. Let me just put this. Their name will come up again.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything more than that. Their name will come up again.
And let Mike know the CEO had been sued previously for other questionable businesses and settled out of court. So he's got a history of this. So again, I tell Mike I'm happy to give him all this information as well. But when you talk to him, those are questions. Hey, Arena Club and their history with
Ziggy, to be fair to you, just from my conversation with him, he knows a lot of what not everything because you were inside, but he knows a lot. Like you can hear it when he talks. The guy has done his research. You know, now you guys push back, and I think pushback is good, and it made for it's good for conversation. But
If
I
he's
do
talking
think
to
he
one of the
knows
biggest
quite a
breakers in
bit.
the hobby, then he's got his shit together.
Well,
Because
think about this. Why did the biggest breaker in the hobby talk to him? And what was his
he's covering his own ass and he's got an inside.
I thought he was ignorant.
What was his expectation? There's an expectation there. You think that through. I will speculate, but I won't right now.
So you want some tinfoil hat stuff?
Wait,
I'll
Ziggy,
give
what do you
some
mean you
tinfoil.
won't right now? Ziggy, wait a minute.
Everybody's got Epstein file stuff they're
We'll talk
holding
later.
back.
We'll talk to you later, about Professor. But that's something you could ask him is, hey, when you spoke to Stephen, what terms was he coming to? Because when you're talking to us publicly, you're going after the breaking industry because you want to regulate it. Does Stephen know that before? He must have known that. Does Stephen agree with that? I as a breaker would like it as well. I want an association. That's something that I think is a great step in this direction, right? Because if this gets to regulation, then the breakers come to then go, hey, let's do an association. That's why we have ratings on our movies, guys, because you got enough legal pressure that an association was formed that said, and before the government gets involved, give us a shot at regulating that. So maybe Steven's ahead of that. And he's like, looking, if I get this going, then I can be in a position to regulate it as well, right? To be an association. So I'm just.
And the thing is, too, when there's a lawsuit, there's going to be what's called a discovery phase, right? So you'll find out if it goes through a whole lot of stuff. What I'm wondering, and this is one of my tinfoil theories here, is that there might be some organized crime involved with some of these major breaks. A lot of these big breaking companies are based out of Vegas, New Jersey, and Florida. Those are big hubs for organized crime. And there's a $270 million in revenue from backyard breaks. That's a lot of money. And a lot of crooked people want to get involved in that. Something doesn't add up that is that big. $40 million of allocation for David Adams.
Money laundering in the hobby is not a secret. I mean, people have talked about it as a joke forever, but dude, I'll tell you, Charles, and I don't mean this the wrong way. It is one of the reasons why you go to these shows and people come in with thousands of dollars. They buy slabs. They sell them on eBay for under $30. And people go, well, why did the guy sell for $8? That slab's worth $20 because it's clean $8, guys. Yep. This has been going on forever. So that's not new.
Well, and that's interesting take, but I would also assume a lot of that show stuff is not tracked, these cash sales or some of these sales.
Absolutely. Nope. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. When you talk about earlier, Mike's like, well, get these guys for tax evasion, 30%. How are you going to get a guy who hits a card in a break that I paid $200 for? Card comes to me in the mail. I go to a show and sell for $5,000. What do you mean you're going to get me to pay taxes on that?
Nope.
See what I'm saying? That industry's there. I'm not saying it's right, but that is what this industry's.
And I got to interrupt for just one quick to the collection firm, because me and the collection firm, I'm a fan, but Rhonda has a tough job. There's 200 people in her. She's the only moderator. She does a great job. So anyways, to the collection firm's comment, love to Rhonda, and sorry if you're annoyed a little bit at the moderating shot. Thumbs up to Rhonda. Sorry, Ziggy. Yeah. But this is, I didn't expect. When he told me all this yesterday, I was like, that's big news. I just didn't. This is going to be an interesting follow. No matter, it's just going to be an interesting follow, and there's more to come.
An interesting question to Mike too is that does he think there may be a possibility of organized crime being involved in some scale that would possibly come out or maybe hinder whatever lawsuit he has? Because if they want to settle or do something like that, or they just simply want to lobby to not have regulation and start kicking money back to congressmen in Nevada, in Florida, in New Jersey, that's a lot of money. That's billions of dollars. If you're really combining everything, that's nearly $1 billion in revenue between all these breaking companies and wholesale companies. That's a lot of friggin' money, guys. That's enough money for things to happen and shit to go sideways real quick.
And it's about time, because it wasn't always this much money. Like for Mike, you're talking about the blowout at forum breaks, like in the price. The difference is now the prices of this thing, and you're not wrong. Some of that's gambling as well, or a form of, but it's just the prices it's enough to make regulation more real at this point.
Yeah, you turn your head now at the number. You're like, so what?
Yeah.
When you can hit $1 million card out of a product that was just printed 3 months ago, 6 months ago, that's ridiculous. That's life-changing money. At some point, somebody has to look at it and go, you can manufacture $1 million card like that? What?
Or insert $1 million card in like they've done too. They've done
it. Just makes you go like, okay, maybe somebody should be watching this. Okay. Think about all the money they make just from Topps now. Just from Topps now. Okay. Cards like what, $8 or $9 a card? And they sell 250,000 of them in 3 days. That's a lot of money.
And everyone's buying them to gamble for the chase.
And then they're sending them to PSA to break or to grade. So part of the cycle of the hobby. And that's where I'm saying this will, if it goes where it's going to go, it's going to go deeper. It's going to take a decade, 5 to 10 years minimum. Okay. Just because of law and wrapped up stuff. And by that time, there's 3 alien invasions, 4 wars. They're going to not worry about it. So I don't know where it's going to go. The hobby will probably implode prior to that. But that's the type of crap you would have to go through to get there. And I just
it's a good start. It's a good start.
I know, but it's not moving fast enough. They'll all tell you we have bigger problems. There's more stock market manipulation, just like today, than there is anything else.
Okay, but again, his angle is very smart, because you guys we all have our problems, and mine's actually the marketing is the one that pisses me off the most. But you guys have different ones that you're bringing up. But the point is, his angle is almost a can't miss in my opinion. It's a home run. It's what he's doing is he's specifically taking he has other problems as well, but I think I'm going to give him credit in being really smart for taking the angle that he is, where he's pushing his specific every time it's illegal gambling to kids. And if that, it might not change the industry, fine, but it's a great step. I
think that's why Panini took the odds off the box a long time ago, because now it's at random.
And Topps, when you go on Topps website, some of the odds are not there as well for their new product.
My
It's better
understanding
at random.
in Canada, they're required on the box. I don't know if that's still the case. I mean, Canada's still around, but they used to be required to be written on the box. And there used to also be a question on the box. It would be like, what is 3 + 8? Because
sure.
Remember that? So I don't know if that's still there, but before COVID, Canada did have that law. And
Dave, do you want back in, Dave?
there's some really gross commenters that I find offensive. I'll just say that.
All right, let's throw Dave. Dave, go. I didn't see, but I know Rhonda's got her work cut out for tonight.
His angle actually is very good because what he's going after is illegal in every state. Gambling underage is every state. It's not just one. So he's covering the whole board. So
I think it's a good angle because we all have our own problems. But so the CT, all these other, he mentioned the CT scanner. He said it's been around since the 90s. He is not stupid. He's taking the winning approach. And you guys all want the hobby to change or the industry to change. Maybe not, but it puts the right eyeballs on what's happening. That's how I look at it.
I don't remember when I logged into Whatnot for the first time, but is there a requirement for age to be disclosed?
Okay, so the burden of proof on the age is very difficult. And on Whatnot, you have to have an adult sign, and then they can have children run their platform. As far as just having a guy that you show in the break, I'm in the break, I'm underage. Again, burden of proof. How do I know he's in the break? The card was used for the transaction. It's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah,
that's why they're doing it. That's why there's 15 and 16.
Especially if a parent is okaying it for a child.
No one's saying it's not hard. It's still a good thing. I mean,
it is a good thing. I'm just saying it's not like this is an easy open closed case for the states. And Fanatics is aware of this. Like Fanatics told me, we don't want children in front of the camera. Like you can't have a child come on and break with you, right? We can't do promos with children. They're not supposed to have kids. And you'll see them on other platforms. Like there's the one that has the Boom Kid. Well, you don't see it on Fanatics Live. You don't see a Boom Kid on Fanatics Live.
But you have his kids in the background when he breaks every card, and they're coming in from going to their moms on the weekend and stuff, and they're on there. One of the kids, actually, when I was in a break with Jabs about a few months ago, his 10-year-old child opened up 3 or 4 packs of cards and started kind of sorting through them, and the comments were like, whoa, you missed one, you missed 2, and then you could hear Jabs kind of running back up there go, oh, hey, honey, oh, my God, fuck, don't do that.
Jabs is a different story, though.
That was wild to me, and no one really seemed to care. But I'm like, a 10-year-old just opened up like cards that I have money in. That's a bit much.
You were in the break?
I was in the break. It was about 3 months ago when
I would have complained. Like, I think anybody else would have complained. Nobody would let a kid open.
I think the real story here is you were in a break with Jabs.
Exactly.
I know. We all make mistakes. Hard be it for me to make a mistake. Sorry, you guys are mistake-free people here. Gee, gosh.
Well, it's not that mistake-free. I'm in breaks, but I'm not hypocritical about it. I support breaks. I like breaking. I think breaking needs to be regulated, but I also think it should. Here's another point. You should know what you're buying into, right? I don't like buying single boxes because you don't know if it came out of case where the case hit's been, or the box has been weighed, or it's been CT scanned. So I want all that regulated. I want fairness. I want them to tell me what hits have been pulled. So displaying it. Fanatics knows what hits are coming out of the product. Like you said earlier, absolutely. RFID is basically the ability to scan a box and know what's in it. Every company has that. Now, do they deviously use it?
Yeah, they do. Come on.
Sometimes.
Every freaking, I mean, have you seen some of this crap?
When they wanted these videos for publicity, yes.
I think, for example, if you found out that the 101 patch had the bubonic plague on it, they could tell you immediately where that box is. But they
put it on it so I can find it.
It's over. The Phil bomb has it. I can tell you where it's at.
Is that somebody inside the company will hack that database and they get access to it, and then they can sell it or use it. And I think that's what you saw with the Panini hack a few years ago, where someone knew the code on the box. I think someone had got that hack figured that out, stole
Yeah, I
it.
remember that. That's right. That's
It was
right.
after the Panini break-in, which I keep mentioning every now and then.
I think Panini sold their own servers personally. I think that's an inside
Good,
job.
yeah.
Okay.
Another quick comment I would just say on the platforms, by the way, if these platforms went away, you realize the breakers made more money before, like Blaze, Leighton Sports Cards. Those guys were huge on YouTube, which meant they pay no fees. They were forced on these platforms in order to get allocation. So they actually make a ton of money off platform. A lot of them don't want to be on these platforms. Their big buyers are off platform anyway. They're buying.
Ron Goodlife won't do it. He refuses to do it. He's making hand over fist on YouTube and won't do it. He's already said it's because he doesn't pay any fees on YouTube.
Exactly. It's a great.
Well, he might have to eventually, the way Fanatics is.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a lot of breakers that we like that are going to be out of business because they won't comply or won't go in with Fanatics, or they're going to simply have to just bend the knee a little bit just so they can keep their business running.
Well, I don't think Fanatics going to allocate product to a lot of people moving forward. You're going to be in the list or you're not. And then
So starting in April, they've already cut a lot of them off. When the football,
it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I mean, unless you know how to buy singles and you can source product otherwise, everything's going to be a massive markup. Everything's going to be more expensive for you. You're going to always get people who are going to come and buy it. I mean, it's the same thing with my store down literally 2 blocks from me. You know, a box I can buy it online for $109.99, and at their store there it's $130. You know, $150, and they'll sell out of it. And they'll sell out of it the first day. So just because people are lazy.
You guys are a bunch of suckers, man.
I didn't buy it. I said they bought it.
I look at my ass. My ass is buying cheap cardboard, buddies.
Hey now,
I'm telling you,
that looks very vintage. That's not cheap.
This stuff
That's junk
is
wax.
vintage.
The 70s or 80s.
There's
also people buying out that junk wax too, and it's soon not going to be junk wax either. Because
everybody's going a different direction now. We're going to run out of things to try to make it go up.
I've got plenty of shiny. Okay, shiny's bullshit.
Yeah, I throw that in the garbage.
It's all garbage.
That's why I like first off the line boxes, Breaker Delights. I don't need all the extra bullshit that I got to deal with or have to throw in the garbage.
But guys, listen. I don't know if you feel the same way, Jason. You've definitely called me out on the idea of I love cards. Well, yeah, I do. But the way that I purchase my cards are different than what most people do. I go, and if I hit a flea market or a garage sale, I buy a box unlooked at. You know what I mean? Like a box full of singles that are sitting there. And my big trip is I'm going to buy a 500 or a 5,000 count box, and I'm going to walk away for $70 with that box. And I'm going to go home, and I've got two to 3 weeks of fun sitting in that box.
Yep.
Whatever it is. And that's my joy. I don't crack packs to get that euphoria that you see that these guys are buying.
And I think other people hobby the same way you do, or the same way maybe I do. It's just not what's social media is a big part of the whole the whole game. You know, we have another Dan, but not Dan the Carmen Sportsman. Dan, what made you want to call in, or what do you want to add?
Actually, I want to talk about the conversation with Mike, but no, thanks for having me on. I'll introduce myself because I know I haven't been on with a lot of y'all before. Only been on, I think,
quick introduction
once.
And then get to the point.
Oh yeah. My main point was Mike seems like a good salesman and a smart guy. I'm always a little bit apprehensive. I'm worried maybe he's just selling the documentary a bit. I'm not sure about, I guess, like everyone else, how much traction that lawsuit is going to get. Why have I not heard anything about it anywhere else?
Well, he hasn't filed it yet. He just came on saying he's going to file it. And I have not asked him this. I have a question right now written down, is that I would imagine heavily that his plans are that these lawsuits, what great footage, what a great story. So I would assume that all this stuff, he doesn't just want to go away because it's going to be used. And I don't know this, and I'm going to ask him that, but that would be my assumption, is that he's not just going to do this and let that be that separate from the doc. It would all be wrapped up in to make this long form documentary with the lawsuits a part of it. That's a guess, no idea. But sure, there could be definitely a tie or connection. But his dad owned a sports card shop. Like I forget the other thing. Like he really, you can hear when he talks. He's not. I talk to a lot of these. Like, he knows cards. He knows he knows what he's talking about. So anyways, you might not be wrong, but I do think
he's
you're right
looking more
to
for
think
class
that.
action. He's looking for people that have been affected by it, and I think he might be seeking out like some for class action.
Well, that was
Most
new.
people-
That was not the original point. But when he talked to his lawyer thought it was worth talking to class action lawyers. So that's a relatively new, scenario or wrinkle in it, I guess.
Right. The more people you have on board, the more traction it gets. If it's just one person against the world, it's kind of okay. But if you have 100 people or however many people you can get, that's been
It's got to be
affected by it.
thousands, right? It's got to be. I mean, how?
Yeah,
I mean, and then the other thing I was gonna say on that is like, I really do hope this kind of gets to the root of the issue that you guys have all been talking about. But the shill bidding, that's going to be a hard one. I feel like for anyone to get actual, I don't know, like you can have proof, but for it to hold up in court, and that's what I hate the most. I think is shill bidding because have an auction, whatever.
You were allowed to shill bid on major auction sites,
right?
In the terms, like they don't care.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for King Golden's been around for 4 decades.
Hey now,
And
4
posting,
decades.
he's shield on his own site, so he's not going to,
He's
out
a
himself
snake.
over it.
He's a giant slime ball.
Guess who shows up for no reason at all to get his grandstanding and hot dogging in?
Sorry, that was for Golden.
Yeah.
I almost caught myself on eBay looking at a Kobe Mayo. Kobe Mayo's my guy. Might actually be starting at third base again. But it was a Probstein listing and like literally had it on my watch list and saw it. I was like, oh, heck no. Like this guy is not back on the eBay. But yeah, he had thousands of listings. He's hitting it strong. So
He's made over
what
$1
did he
billion
learn,
on
right?
it. He's made well over $1 billion on it.
That's got to be Dave.
I'm out.
Dave. Dave's out. That's the ring. Dave, we'll see you later. I don't know, collection firm you want on or the firm I put you on, you left. I don't know. The firm you want here or did you leave? The firm, how we doing?
What's up? Can you even hear me?
Yeah. Oh, I know you. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Dang. Okay. What do you got? This will be interesting.
The old Rip MasterCard. People don't realize they had Hooters girls and this guy doing rips in 08.
Yep.
And their autos are in that 08 finest. I can't believe nobody ever. This guy's he's kind of like creepy too. He's almost like Epstein.
He's extremely creepy. Oh no,
Who is he? I don't even know who's this guy.
He was the rip master for Tops. They were doing rips. And the 08 housing market blew up the casino business model that they were ready to push.
Mm-hmm. And this isn't round 1 or 2 of this process happening. It's just finally gotten this far.
No, but it's Ruben doing it on a global scale because he
he was smart. He saw the opportunity, unregulated area, fully gambling.
Well, no, he already
on
failed.
odds.
They failed in the casino, right? He was before Fanatics. He failed trying to get a casino.
And
Well,
that
when
webs
I
the
hear that's-
Fanatics gambling is also not.
His Fanatics
breaking-
Sportsbook's losing its ass. He said he's projected
Yes.
to lose like $450 million.
So is DraftKings and so is everybody else. But people don't talk about that. There's only 2 real people that are marketing in this arena. Number one, nobody ever brings up. I don't know why. I keep posting it. Brian Lee, the guy who started LegalZoom. He's the guy who owns Arena Club. He gave Derek Jeter ownership to say Derek Jeter was partner. You think Derek put money over that shit? No, he did not.
He's
Brian
the
Lee
face.
yeah, he's the fucking face.
Yeah,
And then the
last time
same
I
thing
saw
with
him
Go ahead.
promote it. I haven't seen Derek promoting that.
No, because
So
I think
not
he
a lot.
realized, like, he probably had his own smart people. Like, is this really going to work? And they were like, I don't know, just don't put your face around it too much. It can't hurt you that
He's on
much,
some
right?
of the older videos promoting it, but they're like from a
Yeah, I know he had a
couple
World
Well, that's
Series
the very
video.
beginning. Yeah, the very
That's the
beginning when
beginning,
Brian
yeah.
Lee.
And
But
Frank
Brian
had
Lee's
mentioned
real bad.
Frank had mentioned on Brian Lee, he did his research on Brian Lee, and Brian Lee has started several of these sites, and they've all been sued after the fact, for different
Dude, him and
reasons.
Shapiro started LegalZoom. You can't fight those two guys.
They also
You
have
see-
some
I get it.
some shoe company they got rich on.
No, that's the other thing. This Zapatos, I think that site, that guy like committed or he like burned himself down on nitrous or some shit. He was like some gazillionaire. It could be a different guy, but the guy who owned, I think, the Zapato, whatever the shoe site was. But I think
Zappo?
Lee, Yeah, Zappos. You heard about
Shoe Dazzle. Brian Lee's shoe one is
Zappos, yeah,
called
yeah,
Shoe Dazzle.
that guy was doing nitrous in sweat lodges until he died or some crazy shit.
Immolated himself. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's some crazy story. It's some wild shit. But
The Firm, I know you have a ton of knowledge in there. So
I don't even know where to start. I don't even know. It's like,
what do you think on this whole everyone's kind of, these other callers are saying, it'll not go anywhere, this lawsuit or with Mike. Is that getting you?
Listen, this goes back to when I started to, basically try to get Enrico Bonaldo his 5 stolen cards from 10 years ago back. And then I, dug into every rabbit hole at PWCC. And, this is pre-Fanatics, but you had Alt. And that's what I was going to say about Alt, too, is that all these guys are all working. Fanatics now employs everybody that worked at PWCC or Alt, or the people that worked at Fanatics are now at Alt, or vice versa. So it's all the same players. But the guy who was the FBI director of the Art, Antiquity, and Theft Division, who still was part of not only the operation, the one with all the autographs in the late 90s, then he was
Bullpen,
right? So, and then he was also part of the still ongoing investigation. It's still open because there's still cards that people can claim were you don't have to even show proof of trimming, but if they were sold by PWCC within a window, you can get your money back and they'll take the cards. The fucked up thing is that all of these cards, hundreds of them, and Cage Lawyer and P. Ryan both had to get money back, but there was no NDA signed. So none of them have anything protecting them from talking about it. P. Ryan wouldn't ever bring it up. He blocked me when I brought it up because Blowout was the one that helped him realize that his Bryce Harper Red Ink fucking Heritage rookie was a trim card. And then he didn't want to ever bring it up or talk shit about PWCC. But this is long before, all this stuff with Beckett. But back to where was I at? I'm sorry.
I'm still curious on your take on the Mike lawsuit or what you think of.
Well, yeah. So back to this. So this Brian Brokowski or Busecic, he retires and becomes the head of security for Fanatics. There is one article or one interview with Jeff and I can't remember who, but it's funny because I played it to Evan Mathis and I was like, the FBI is working for fucking Fanatics. And he's like, oh, they're just.
You were just like when I talked to you off it. There's
so much. But long story short is this guy, Mike, who knows where all the skeletons are buried for anything that has to do with dirt, is now working for fucking Fanatics.
A different Mike. Got you. Yes. And you've been wanting to connect that dot for a long time.
It's Brian Brukasic.
Okay, Brian KK.
I'll get you his link. You guys can look. Just Google FBI Art Antiquities director, now Fanatic Security. So Fanatics, when they first took over, had this show in Arizona or Nevada. It was like their first one, and he was introduced there. So anybody that was there at that first Tops Fanatics takeover, like dealer conference, he was introduced. And Jeff Wilson described it as he was going to be in charge to make sure distribution and boxes weren't loaded or whatever. That was going to be his thing. But what was clear is Ruben's a genius. You hire the FBI guy that could actually be the one that would prosecute you. You find out and know where all the dirt is. You then use that to buy PWCC for pennies on the dollar because Brent was probably going to go to prison. They were selling on Clubhouse these unsecured credit securities, like they were taking $250,000 minimum investments, and then they said they were going to use it for the card, liquidity market, and then they Brent bought commercial property at the worst time. Probably turns out that he was buying it from entities of friends that knew that they were losing. There's a shit ton of fraud that's never been talked about that whole thing, and really it turned out Betsy Higgins was then in charge.
I'm so glad you finally get to talk to the firm because all the names. I'm gonna get you on that. It's just we're lost. I get lost because all the names. There's so many.
I tell you all the time. I feel like
so
the guy is always sunny on Philadelphia, fucking smoking a cigarette with the yarn and fucking shit.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Gentlemen, we're going on almost 2 hours. Any of you got more big talking point, or I think I'll finish with what I got and wrap up.
Wait, just real quickly. Ruben is controlling the narrative. If
Oh,
if you can make sure the people suing you are on your side, you're going to be held you're going to be able to be less liable in the end. It's always about minimizing liability. They all know they're going to have to get called up to whether it's a congressional hearing, but they're all gonna have to sit there in suits like all these other idiots when they do shit wrong, like Zuck and all these people, and be like, yeah, we turned fucking kids into gamblers. But look, we offered them therapy proactively because we knew it could be bad.
Oh, that's the angle.
That's absolutely the fucking angle.
There's already an angle built into
Right,
this. They already know if it comes up, what they need to do in order to.
Well, what's this guy's
it.
page now? The therapist, the MD, fucking.
Nope. And you know what? Now I understand why Dan's Vintage Baseball, who really he sees the guy has a lot of wisdom. He really didn't like that guy, and now I'm starting to see that guy is very embedded with these other companies that are making it so they have.
No, but what if he really is passionate about helping gamblers? He doesn't realize that he's a pawn. Well, no, maybe he feels like, oh, I get to do the job that I probably should be doing. And they're like, we need to get this guy going before Congress calls us, before we get the lawsuit filed, so they can say, look, we were doing what you made every gambling site do what we did before you made them do it.
Yep.
Because all those sites have to offer, even Barstool, they got to play all those commercials about, if you got a problem with gambling. So they're doing the same thing, marketing it to kids as a proactive, look, we're trying to do the right thing, because they're not going to ask for permission. They're only going to ask for forgiveness when they get called out.
Dang,
there's already a plan. There's already a plan in place.
And it seems like Collectors MD is a part of the plan.
And a plan B.
The whole circle. Yeah, the whole circle's part of it. There's a bunch of moving pieces that never actually leave the board. They just go to different teams. That's what this is. At the end of the day, it's really what it is.
And it got so big with NIL, and then people don't realize how big F1 and soccer is. People have no idea. And that's another reason why I think they want to push that over there. And they got a casino running. Let's just wait till they tell us to stop. Fucking put the fucking gas to the fucking floor.
Yeah, because like I said, it'll be 5 to 10 years. So what do they care? At that point, they might sell it.
Nah, I think it'll be it's sometime in the next presidential election cycle. I don't think it'll be 5.
We can't even get anything done in a year anymore. And then that's a simple something.
No, because the government sees they're not making money here. They want some of that casino revenue.
There's plenty of money they're not making elsewhere. They should go look at the stock market.
Well, I mean, look at whatnot. They're
Plenty
getting
of money they're missing. They're missing billions there a day.
25 billion is what fucking whatnot's worth. Are you kidding me? They want some of that.
What about Kalshi and what about Polymarket? They're
that's connected. No, that's the other crazy thing, especially with the guy that's streaked. And you can now bet on what you intend to do, criminal or
not.
They
let you do it, so if you can control the narrative. I thought
what
they
very quickly they're going to put prop bets. They're going to end prop bets to $250 max, and that will put it into a lot of. Well, that'll put it into a lot of the really fucked up shit.
Well, that's probably a good idea, man. We got Ham on and the card firm. I don't know if you want me to say your name. That's crazy. That is what is and the previous callers before.
David Kahana. You can go to David Kahana.
Dave is here. He made a live. Oh my goodness. Dang. Hold up. We got there we go.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to piss Ziggy off because me and him,
I'd love that. Let's see that. Fireworks. Any more? I don't have my mind is mush at this point. I've had so many conversations.
I just want to say this as to it relates with the fucking Cuck Twins SCR. I would not have found you if it wasn't for them talking shit about who's this guy, just like they're doing now about you. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, boss. But it's like they're just such fucking projecting their fucking beta cuckery. I swear.
All right. Oh boy.
Fuck, dude, listen, I gave them more information, tried to help them out, and then they fucking sucked the nipple of Ken Golden. They still are. They're still getting paid to stay off the air. They have the police report where Ken Golden called the fucking lifeguard of his daughter's fucking country club an N-word. And it's on a 911 recording. That's when Ken started cutting him a check. Facts.
Whoo! Well, gentlemen.
All right then. On that bombshell.
Hey, Dave, thanks for calling in, bro. Crazy. You are gonna get me a lot of ramifications. He already has. Anyways, gentlemen, Ham, thank you for calling in. Charles, thank you for
Always.
calling in. Yep, up. That's there. I am up. There's Ham. All right. Wow. Holy cow! Was that an hour or 40 minutes? Like the last 3 days, this has all happened. Like all this happened so fast. In the last 3 days, it's been a lot of conversations. I had stuff I wanted to get to. I still almost. I thought it was fun to get to. It's going to be card based here. We're 2 hours in. My mind's mush. I just want to run through the cards I have up here because that's always fun. So if we look at the point, man, zigging from that to this is almost impossible. Thank you to all the callers. It was a really, really, just like last night, the last hour, and then what we had happen there for an hour. That's great. I mean, I could come up here and do my, of course, but that is just great. That is great. I mean, it was just perfect. Walt Frazier's number 43 on this top 100 NBA list. Nobody cares about buying Walt Frazier cards. Maybe that rookie, which is on CI Actions. I have that up right now. Yeah, right there. The 9's going for $7,000. His rookie, maybe in the highest grade. But the card we want to track is the LeBron James. It's currently selling for $14,500 with 2 days left. And do I have the last LeBron sold February 2nd, also a 9 black refractor for $21,000. And you see that the 9 in a PSA slab sold for $33,000. So it's not that anyone has allegiance or loyalty or loves what PSA is doing. It's the fact that if you get a 9 in Beckett, it sells for $21,000. And if you get a 9 in PSA, it sells for $33,000. So of course you're going to spend the extra 100 or whatever, the extra 1,000 upcharge or whatever. And that's why Jeff's happy about it, because instead of getting the 9 for $21,000, you're hopefully getting a 9 that will sell for $33,000. It's a big price difference. But currently it's a 14.5. We'll see it go up much more than that. That Cooper flag, oh boy, out of 50, 1,000, dime a dozen there. But the point I kind of want to make is there is maybe a dozen NBA players all time that have any relevancy. And so anyone buying NBA players today, why does no one ever look at the past? The past teaches you things. History teaches you things. These all-time greats, they just don't care. George Gervin. Do you hear any hype for George Gervin? Rick Barry. I mean, we just passed 3 of the best players to come out in the 70s. Walt Frazier, George Gervin, and Rick Barry. And I know Gervin was late 70s. Here's Ewing, no championships. One of the best at the time. He was considered maybe the best center, if not one of the best centers. And Clyde Drexler won a title. He was he was creme in his time. He was what's the comp to now? He's this great scorer. He was leading his team. He was one of the few big franchise guys back in the 90s. And so no one's going out, rushing out, talking about Clyde. You go look at his cards. Maybe his top grade, very rare sells for money, nothing else. And now we're going a little older where it's vintage. They have very few cards. I'd still argue, yes, their cards are good because there's not many of them, very few. But again, they're not names you're talking about. And these are the top 40 NBA players of all time. Even Iverson is stuff. There's so much of it. Now these 90s inserts, but you could buy his auto, after the fact on card rookie for what, $150, $200. Steve Nash, and now we're getting in the top 30 players of all time, and it's just people. There's he's 31. He's on my list of the dozen or so NBA players that matter. He won a lot of titles with the Celtics, and his rookie card's in 69, I believe, where he came in the league earlier than that, but there was only a set made in 61 and then again in 69. So for 8 years there was no set. So John Havlicek does make my list of a guy that stays relevant. 29 Stockton. He owns the all-time assists record. He owns the all-time steals record, and no one gives a shit. Scottie Pippen, another guy. He won 6 NBA titles. As much love as Jordan gets, Jordan doesn't win 6 NBA titles without Pippen. And I'll get some flack for that in the comments, but it's just how it works. If you look at the list, Scottie Pippen is ranked as the best NBA defender of all time. I had an argument at a friend's house. I'm like, nah, he's not top 5. No way, no way. And then, he's maybe not top. And you go look at these lists. He's ranked as the top NBA. So not only did he have an offensive game, but Jordan was paired with the best NBA defender of all time. And then you put Dennis Rodman on that team, a dog, or someone like Horace Grant with some shooters. I mean, those were great teams. Scottie Pippen, no one cares. It's all Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. Here's another guy. Oh, he has the Jordan hate. Who cares? He won 2 NBA. Do you think the people in Detroit care about the Jordan hate? The Detroit fanatic, he's the best Piston of all time. He's a top 5 point guard of all time. He's ranked 27 on this Bleacher Report list, and nobody cares. Elgin Baylor is on my list. He doesn't have many cards. Not many people care. But again, he just doesn't have a lot of cards. And so it's so rare that, yes, he's relevant to me. And he's an all-time great Laker. Charles Barkley, a personality. He's relevant. Everybody knows him after his playing years, where many players fade. Most people are endeared, even though his flaws to Charles Barkley. He's ranked 25th here. And again, no way. Why is his market not being pumped and pushed? He's the 25th best NBA player of all time, and he's been on your TV for over 20 years now. Giannis, we'll see. I doubt 24. That's Dwayne Wade's another great. They have 23. That might be a little high in my opinion. Maybe not. But the Dwayne Wade, he just overshadowed. No one can. You could go buy his rookies for dirt cheap. Some of his good ones for not dirt cheap, but way less when you're looking at some of these other players. So currently he doesn't have that. His rookie cards 03 were in 2026. 23 years later, he's not considered one of those top 12 guys I'd say are relevant. Karl Malone, another one. Not relevant. Moses Malone, one of the most underrated NBA players of all time. His name never gets talked about. You go research and read up on Moses Malone. What did he win? A couple MVPs. He won a championship. He's an excellent, excellent player. 21 on their list. No one gives a shit about going and buying Moses Malone. Dr. J. Now the dozen guys that make my list. They'll start falling in here in the top 20. Dr. J does make my list. David Robinson doesn't. His rookie year and that late 80s, early 90s stuff, far overprinted, too much of it. No one seems to really. Maybe you're going to find David Robinson 10 go up a little bit. No, David Robinson is not someone we go after and covet, and they have him in the top 20 NBA players of all time. So the point is, look at history. When you look at history, I'm just talking NBA. NFL is way different, and MLB is way different. But when you look at the sport I love here, NBA, the cards I collect, very few NBA. This is not recent to me. This is something I learned 8 years ago. I decided this was the case. There's very few NBA players that stay relevant long term. Dirk is another good example, and they have him ranked 18th. And then, of course, Garnett, way too high for Garnett. This guy was a stat machine. He was good at stats. He wasn't a winner in Minnesota. And then he joined, and it's not talked about. He joins Paul Pierce, Glenn Davis, Rajon Rondo, another underrated star, and Ray Allen, one of the best shooters of the time. And that's how anything's possible. That's how he got his title. And I'm telling you, Boston guy just joined below. So this will be, let me just finish this rundown. Jerry West is on my list. Oscar Robertson on my list. Durant, he's overshadowed a lot by Curry and LeBron. The other problem is there's no loyalty. The Golden State people don't love Durant. He's bounced around. They love Curry. Olajuwon, number 12, not relevant. And then we're going to move into a bunch of relevant players. Let's add Gio. Gio's going to join the show late. Gio, how we doing?
Great show tonight. I only cost the last 20 minutes. Hey, can I just add on to what you're saying, by the way?
Yeah, you missed a lot, by the way, but yes, please.
I will go back and watch. First of all, are we locking in March 16th? Are we putting this on the books?
I'm in. Monday, March 16th.
I'm telling you right now, I will bring 2 topics to argue about. I would ask you to do the same.
Let's do it.
Okay. Hey, did you see the Breeze and Fitzgerald market, by the way? I would argue they're both top 5, top 10 at their position. Look at their market even after the Hall of Fame enshrinement. Nothing. Dude, we talked about Drew Brees stuff today. His pop PSA 10 stuff, pop of 1,000 rookies selling for $100-$150. Makes no sense.
Gee, I'm going to go backwards. You look at history, like Bradshaw, Montana. I know some of that stuff at the very, like the PSA 10. No one can, Johnny Unitas. Maybe, but it's just they don't hold the value they should compared to baseball. Not even close.
No, so I'll give you the best example that we've talked about this. Jim Brown is arguably the greatest football player of all time. 1958 rookie, so in the prime time of collecting, but people didn't. So here is my theory. I really think it comes down to people didn't watch these guys. And even now, do you think about it? How
But
young
why is
the
it different
hobby
in
is?
baseball? Because it's just
Because it was such a
different. People didn't
generational.
watch them.
Yes, they did. Yeah, like my
No,
dad.
people didn't watch Honus Wagner because they were dead.
Oh,
People didn't
I
watch Ty
agree.
Cobb; they're dead.
Right,
Jackie
but I saw-
Robinson. Most people that saw Jackie Robinson are pretty old at this point.
But it was also family tradition. Do you like my dad watched with me? He watched with his dad. Like baseball was.
Yeah, but at
watched-
this point, I watched football and basketball. I watched all three. But at this point, we grew up
Sure.
watching all the sports.
But we're old, right? Like you collect the guys.
I have a
collect.
different. I think I've mentioned this many times, but I think that baseball nerd aspect. I'm a baseball. We love the baseball side's really fascinated with numbers, and it attracts this nerdy group. And I just find that's the reason baseball does different than basketball and football don't attract that same demographic of stat nerd. When you look at baseball, the numbers are so important. It's not quite the same for basketball and football. These legendary numbers.
But again, you got to remember too, like how many guys watched in the 50s and 60s watch football. There was a stat one time that the viewership.
Yes, but it's 2026 now.
No, I understand, but there was a statistic that came out a while ago on ESPN or Sports Illustrated, one of the two, and it said in the 50s, the decade of the 50s, the baseball audience was like 180 times that of football and basketball. And I get where
because boxing was big then, and people don't give a shit about vintage boxing. I find it interesting. Like when we look back at those players, you want a Willie Mays because you researched about him. You know how great he was when you watch it. I didn't watch him play, but I still want a Willie Mays, and I still want a Jim Brown. It just for whatever reason,
it hasn't translated.
It's
though.
So weird. It is what it is.
And I do though. I think a lot of it, like with the recent guys, like again, me and you talk about a guy like Hakeem, borderline top 10, unbelievable. If you're 26. You never really watched Hakeem at an age where you understood. Like you didn't, you know what I mean? I just think we live in such a here and now society. That's what's changed, right?
But it's just so weird that these, like your Griffey guy, I talk about Bonds and Henderson, and here's Elijah. Like it's just we're trying to attach this new player to be the Mickey Mantle, but Mickey Mantle's so old and those cards are so rare. There is a big difference in the product.
Yeah, but I would also say this, and I'm not even trying to. I don't care if people like the new stuff. I collect almost.
That's a great
all
conversation.
Yeah, but I will say this too. I also think it just speaks to the modern collector. They would rather collect somebody because if you ask most people,
you don't think Wilt is some like you. Why is Wilt not a big like he is? He's big. He's Babe Ruth. He's bigger than life. He's this
here's
like.
Here's why.
Points.
I just think the collector base nowadays that is younger than me and you by 10 or 15 years, they would rather collect somebody that they like and have a connection to. Even if they know, I think all these guys know Ant-Man is never going to be as good as Larry Bird or Magic, but their thing is, yeah, but he's my guy. I do. I think.
Yeah, but don't you wouldn't worry about those prices then? If no one cares about Bird now, and Bird was a legend, Magic was a legend. I mean, they don't get any bigger than those two guys. If people don't really care about them now, why is anyone going to care about Luka or Anthony Edwards in 30 years?
Well, we do. Separate discussion. Like guys like us, we do care about them, but the younger generation doesn't as much. So we'll hold up their pricing, but the younger guys.
But their pricing hasn't gone crazy on those Magic Bird, not 80s stuff. You know,
exploded from where it was pre-COVID. I mean, you're
explode. Maybe say a little.
Dude, I bought a PSA 9 pre-COVID for. I bought the PSA 8 for $792. I bought the PSA 9 for like $1,100.
All right, but 9 did a stupid thing. Yeah, because I bought 2 7s in a BVG for $300 to $400, and I ended up. I didn't sell them at the peak, but last year I think I got around 800 to 1,000 because they're not PSA. So sure, the card tripled. So did a lot of stuff though.
But it is weird, man. I just think guys now, it's almost like me. Like I know Griffey wasn't as good as Willie Mays probably, but I like Griffey. I want him. I just think the younger generation wants the guys that they see.
It's a shit argument to me because the guys that were collecting from the 50s and 60s and 70s, I didn't see play. I didn't see Magic. I didn't see most of Magic's career, and that card is my favorite card of all time. So it does. Sometimes it doesn't matter. I understand comparing to ultra modern. That's different. It's a whole.
Sure.
It's a whole flip. It's a psychology of I could pick the right player, Mr. Red Blue Master. I could pick the right guy, and I can make some. I could watch my collection or sell my collection for more. So that's the ultra modern thing versus this vintage. My argument is in 30 years, all these players are gonna be Magic and Bird. It's just not. They're gonna all want the new stuff, and the old stuff that you think is worth super money. Look what happened to Jim Brown.
Yeah, and you could be right in 10, 20, 30 years. I just think generations will continue to like what they like. In 30 years, I'm still going to collect Griffey. In 30 years, you're still going to collect Magic. Like, I just think the guys in 30 years who like people like Ant-Man or Devin Booker, the young dudes, I think they're still going to be.
Well, the
fine.
other thing is that I didn't see them play. As you get older or as you're in the hobby longer, you stop fascinating over the new stuff and you see more people move in to the older stuff. So I still argue that vintage or some of this older stuff that it could see a pop when these idiots that are buying now want to move their money to the older stuff, because eventually you see the game, and then the true value, the stuff that's lasted time, is some of this stuff we're talking about.
Hey, let me say one more thing. I'll get out of your way. I appreciate
Yeah,
this. The only thing I was going to say is it also goes to show you, though, that the GOATs, man, you got to be, like I said, dude, a lot of guys say Drew Brees is top 5. I think he's top 10, but fine. You want to say top 5? Dude, no market. Larry Fitzgerald, I think, is the 5th best receiver of all time. No market. No one.
Mr. Consistent.
Dude, he had more tackles and drops, but it does go to show, if you're going to have long-term relevance, like even a guy like Josh Allen,
I want to add on to this,
but like Josh Allen, I wonder, like, dude, in 12 years, let's say he's retired, your first ballot Hall of Famer, fine. But if he goes out having made, let's say he makes a Super Bowl, has 2 MVPs, but doesn't ever win a ring, like, at what point is it like he's just totally forgotten, like a Drew Brees type? So, anyways,
that's it. Like Luka could be. Hey, Gio, good seeing you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Frankie, what's up, buddy?
Oh, what's up,
You
Frank?
buying Christian Gonzalez?
I love Gonzo. I got one nice Gonzo. Yep, I bought one.
I don't.
Oh,
I like
man.
him.
What a game.
He's a
What a
great
game.
player.
Good
Yes,
night.
yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Gio.
Suck it, Frank.
Hey, that's a first. That's a first. I want to add on to you. It does matter the legend status of the player, and the other one, and I'm on the hobbyscore.com in my little, like, my breakdown, the market. Mickey Mantle is a Yankee. Kobe and Magic are Lakers. Kareem is a Laker. LeBron, okay, Cavs and Miami. The Bay Area, the Bay Area's got tons of money. It's a huge market. Chicago, another huge media market. So, and then San Antonio, sorry, Wemby, but it's not a big. Now, Wemby's a whole unicorn in himself if he succeeds, but Tim Duncan, David Robinson, the market heavily matters as well. All the fans came from that area. There's more people now loving that player. There's more money in certain cities than other cities. So the market someone plays in heavily matters, along with legends. I'm going to finish up here. I'll go over the players. I do think the 12 players that are actually relevant when it comes to the history of the NBA. LeBron is a no doubt. Dr. J, where his prices might not show it, but yes, he revolutionized some of basketball. He's flashy. His highlights, if you do decide to watch, if you are an NBA historian, he's in they had him ranked a little further back than I would have ranked him on Bleacher Report ranking. Jordan, of course. Kobe's another one. I don't have all their cards pulled up, but this is my favorite card of all time. The reason being is it just happenstance. They weren't being so strategic and calculated back in 1980. And these two players, there was so much hype around them coming in. They had a big rivalry in college. And then again, Dr. J was the best player maybe of the era at that time. I mean, maybe Kareem, but Dr. J's more of the wing, more of the flash. And so you have these three on the same damn card. No one wants 3 people on the same card. No one wants the perforated thing. It's just legendary. It's classic. I would normally not like it. But the fact is, these two won 8 championships in the 80s. And it's paired with Dr. J in the middle, and it was a huge rivalry. And if it was happening now or in social media, it would be bigger than Ohtani. I mean, it just would. So Magic and Bird are on my list. We did LeBron. Curry, of course, is going to be in the the record for the Hall, the long run. Kareem, some of his prices don't show up, but absolutely won 6 MVPs, won 6 titles, was the all-time scoring champ at one point, played in LA, won 5 of those titles in LA with Magic. Oscar Robertson, another one. He averaged a triple-double. I know there's been players, Russell Westbrook, and maybe another since then. Maybe Joker flirted with it or did it. But Oscar Robertson, one of those that, he doesn't have a ton of cards. He just doesn't. We could look through 69, 70 as his rookie year, and then he just doesn't have much going into the mid-late 70s. What else? Bill Russell has 2 years of cards. He has the 1957 rookie year, and he has the 1961. And in 61, there's an inaction card. So technically or maybe it's 57, the inaction card. No, it's 61. Yeah. And so he has 3 cards. I mean, he won 11 titles. This is it. This is, if you could afford something like this, it was no cards, all-time legend. Boston is a huge NBA city. He's on there. Jerry West cards don't show. But again, when you dive into the history of NBA, you dive into who's in part. This guy also was so historical after his playing career. He's one of the best basketball minds and created a few dynasties, more than one. Larry Bird, Larry Legend, Elgin Baylor, John Havlicek, and Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain, again, another one that bit larger than life, just larger than life. This was a crazy show. Gio, you really missed a really crazy hour and a half, a bunch of people calling in, more news from Mike, and what a great Thursday. We hit 200 again, and that was the first time on a Thursday. And you know, we'll follow that story. We'll continue to there's more news I'm not sharing now. More news is coming on that story for sure. So we'll do it again Tuesday. On Wednesday, I hate doing this, but I'm not going live till 6:00. And I'll remind you again Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm not going live till 6. And then the following Monday, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, we'll do the hobby collision. And I wanted to get some questions from you guys or some thoughts on a segment possibly from you guys. We have ideas. I have ideas, but Ziggy, thank you for calling in. Rhonda, thank you for sending in the stuff you did. And Frank, that was a really neat way to start the show. Who had a bunch of callers. And after these 3 days live, including work, a rougher day at work yesterday, my mind, I'm not kidding, my mind's mush. I'll pat myself on the back for lasting these what we did 3 hours yesterday, over 2 hours Tuesday, over 2 hours today, and none of it was dull. It was all kept moving. It was all fun. Michael Ham called in tonight. We got Dave, we got Dave Snyder, we got Dave Kahana. Holy cow, this was a show. It was a show. Thank you for being here, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys Tuesday.